Welcome to Bryan College Station. For the 24th year, WVFI brings you Notre Dame college football on the internet airwaves. While a new era of college football begins, the expectation at Notre Dame remains the same, be a playoff contender. And when you couple that with a third-year head coach in Marcus Freeman that all the fans believe could be the guy, it makes for a tremendous and remarkable 2024 season in front of us. From the concourse, it's number 7 Notre Dame taking on number 20 Texas A&M in the heart of Dixieland. Alongside my good friend, broadcast partner, and esteemed sports director Tyler Reidy, I'm Jacob Irons. Our engineer this evening is Dylan Wallace. T. Reed, through the trials and tribulations of this evening, there's going to be a game to be played here. This atmosphere, we are immersed right in it. It's going to play a factor tonight right off the bat.
Yeah, so when we showed up tonight, we were thinking, all right, we're going to be up above everything. We're going to have a little bit of space up in the press box to ourselves. But we're in it. We're in the back row of the concourse, probably, 30, 35 rows back from the corner of the end zone here at Kyle Field. I mean, this is just crazy. And, hey, we're here. We're on the airwaves. We think that you can hear us all right. So from all of our tests, we got the green light here tonight. And, man, what a scene we've got for week 1. Prime time in College Station.
You talked about it right there, the scene. Game day to start the day here in Bryan College Station. It opened up all of the hope for both these two sides. For Texas A&M, they bring in their first-year head coach, only the 6th head coach in all of Texas A&M history. It's Mike Elko, a name that sounds familiar. He led the Duke Blue Devils over the past 2 years. He takes the jump back to Aggie land, where he was a defensive coordinator in 2018 to 2021.
Yeah, and even before that, another storyline with him. He was with Notre Dame as the defensive coordinator back in 2017, a year where Notre Dame showed a lot of promise, ranked top 5 in the country in November at one point. But, hey, I mean, the storylines are endless when you start with him. I mean, the guy he's facing tonight, the Notre Dame signal caller, quarterback Reidy Leonard, making his Notre Dame debut after transferring over from Duke, where he was coached by Mike Elko for 2 years. And it was part of a Duke rushing offense that set program records back in the 2022 season. Now they go head-to-head with one another. I mean, just so many storylines, and that covers a few of them, but not them all. Keep them coming, Jay.
Yeah, there is so many to talk about here, and one of them you have to talk about is the revamped offense.
Yeah.
It comes in with a Reidy Leonard, a new face to the Notre Dame campus that is taking everyone by storm. Everyone loves him. He's a dual-threat quarterback. He can pass and he can rush, but he's coming with a new offensive coordinator as well, and Mike Denbrock, who led the nation in offense last year with LSU and Brian Kelly, had the Heisman in Jaden Daniels last year. He now comes to Notre Dame, wanted the opportunity to coach Notre Dame student athletes, and his offense is what everyone wants to see, especially in this environment. He is an offensive coordinator that likes motions, likes to move around on the line. How does that play? Once again, in front of a 102,000 capacity crowd here at Kyle Field tonight.
Notre Dame's going to have to get creative. There's no way around it. This Texas A&M team, especially with the identity now that Mike Elko brings to the table, a defensive-minded head coach, the identity of this A&M team is physicality up front. They're going to have their way at times at the line of scrimmage tonight with a very young, inexperienced Notre Dame offensive line. So Mike Denbrock's going to have to scheme some things up. Sure, he's got the game plan for the first quarter. He has things scripted. He has motions like you talked about, and all the experience in the world over 30 years coming in to this game here at Texas A&M. But, man, to paraphrase, stuff's going to hit the fan at some point tonight with this environment, this physicality coming from the Aggies on the other side, and his creativity, along with Reidy Leonard's dual threat capabilities, and the revamped wide receiver room with 3 transfers in Chris Mitchell, Bo Collins, and Jaden Harrison will have to come up big late.
Both coaches talked about it in their pregame pressers to begin the week. Week 1, it's a toss-up. It's a coin flip. You don't know. There is no film on the offense that you are going to see. For Mike Denbrock, he doesn't have any tape with Notre Dame. On the other side, for Connor Klein, an individual that Notre Dame was eyeing to be their next offensive coordinator, comes over from Kansas State to take the sidelines for A&M. There's no tape on his offense either. Tonight is all about adjustments, and what team can adjust the most is going to walk out victorious.
Yeah, a lot of what week 1 comes down to as well is, who can make the winning plays, whose star players can step up at the right time, because when you're talking week one, these teams haven't been up to game speed like this at any point yet. We're not talking about October, November, where these teams are really starting to mesh with one another and coalesce as a unit. It's an individual game at certain points when you're talking about week one. In an environment like this, the winning players are going to have to make winning plays. And, hey, there's no second guessing it. On paper, Notre Dame's got more talent, especially on the defensive side of the ball. It's a matter of whether that talent can overcome this environment.
This environment as Texas A&M takes the field for the first time in Mike Elko's era. A name that's familiar to College Station returns with all the hope in the world. It was famous when Jimbo Fisher was announced, they gave him a plaque. It was a blank space for national champion. For this Texas A&M crowd, they feel once again that they have a coach in Mike Elko that can get them to the promised land in college football here in College Station, a place that lives and breathes college football.
Oh, no question about it. And A&M coming off a 7-6 season, a disappointing year, a disappointing tenure overall for Jimbo Fisher. I mean, this isn't a program that, for me, has been really relevant for the entire duration of a season since the days of Johnny Manziel, the guest picker on College Game Day back in 2012 and 13 when he was leading A&M in those rock fights up against Alabama. Now, A&M has still played teams very, very tough, like Florida, Alabama, Tennessee, all these high-caliber SEC opponents at home. They can win the big game at any point, but they're now starting the season inside the top 20 with Mike Elko coming in. Pretty good track record going back to his days at Duke the last couple of years and what he was able to do elevating the Blue Devils program last season. We remember the way they took on Notre Dame at the end of September. Certainly a new identity, and the fans, they're always bought in here, but even more so.
Notre Dame takes the field here in College Station. Talked about everything that Notre Dame brings in and has a new look. One thing that remains the same is Notre Dame's defense. A lot of the returners. You look at Riley Mills, Howard Cross, the defensive line. Then you also return back the leading interception master in Xavier Watts out in the cornerback position. There is a lot to be excited for this Notre Dame defense that returns more than it loses.
Yeah, you have three guys with definitive All-American potential that you can lock it in and say these guys have a legitimate chance to be All-Americans at the season's conclusion. You mentioned Howard Cross, a game wrecker up front who was at his best on the defensive line in Notre Dame's toughest road challenges last year. Xavier Watts, a man who always seems to find the football from the safety position, back for his graduate year. And Benjamin Morrison, the lockdown corner, who is going to challenge the skill positions of Texas A&M. The big question for A&M coming in, how is this offense going to perform? You have a quarterback with a lot of talent in Connor Wigman, who has not seen the field a ton due to injuries, but has really showed some high ceiling abilities. And this group of A&M running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, not very proven, certainly not to the extent of Notre Dame's defense. So the playmakers, again, on the Irish defensive side of the ball, have a chance to do some big things tonight.
Yeah, you look at Connor Wigman, the quarterback that'll be under center for the Aggies. Came in out of high school, the #1 recruit by ESPN. His freshman year didn't play at the start, got into the starting role late into his freshman year, ultimately went down with an injury. Then starts his sophomore campaign looking like he's going to be the best. Goes and throws 5 touchdown passes against New Mexico in the start. Only then goes on to play 3 more games before he's injured and sidelined for the rest of the year. For Texas A&M, they know they have their guy right now at the quarterback position. They just haven't seen him.
Certainly. And again, he has an opportunity to get back with some of the guys who he had really fine success with early last season, 2022. A&M has not made a ton of changes on the offensive side of the ball. There are a lot of transfers on defense, but A&M, for the most part, is returning a good chunk of its core. It wasn't a great offense last year, and that O-line is still susceptible to some hit or miss play in front of Wigman, but he has some core group guys that he can work with and lean on to open up this season. It's not a luxury that Riley Leonard has, obviously making his Notre Dame debut tonight, so we'll see how he can familiarize himself. But again, he hasn't played since last September up at game speed, so who knows what we're going to see. Yeah,
3 starters return on the line for A&M. While on the other side, it's only 6 career starts for Notre Dame's offensive line. It's Anthony Knapp getting it. Notre Dame won the toss. They elect to defer. They'll receive the ball in the second half. It'll be the new kicker and Mitch Jeter, the transfer from South Carolina, to start the year and send it to the Texas A&M Aggies. deep beyond positioning at their own end zone. It's Terry Bussey back to left side. Notre Dame will go right to left on the kick, as A&M will return it left to right on your radio dial.
Let's have some fun. Football's back.
After all the hype and after all the expectations, 2024 college football season is underway. Jeter boots it out of the end zone, and it will bounce for a touchback, and it gives us an opportunity to see Connor Wigman in this Texas A&M offense for the first time. So an offense that, like Tyler mentioned, only averaged 33 and a third points per game. In the SEC, that's not going to cut it. And for them, they understand they have to get production, and that's what Mike Elko brings in with an offensive coordinator and Colin Klein from KSU, his first year, as they come jogging out onto the field.
Klein, some great things at Kansas State the last couple of years. A year ago, K-State led the nation in red zone touchdown rate, so if A&M can get down there on offense, there's a pretty good chance they're going to punch it in. We'll see what they can do.
Two wide receivers to Wigman's left. They'll send, ultimately, Thomas in motion to bring him over to the left side. Ball is snapped back under the shotgun, makes a pass, and thrown in at the 40-yard line and caught quickly by Cyrus Allen. It's a 1st and 10 once again with Connor Wigman and Texas A&M playing with tempo. Getting quickly to the line, they'll send two to the left side with one to the right. Back to Wigman's left and throws to the flats, and it's tipped out of bounds. 2nd and 10 from the 40.
And that one intended for Jade Walker over on the left boundary for A&M. First one went to Cyrus Allen, the slot receiver, a Louisiana Tech transfer who hasn't played Power 4 football yet in his career, but put up big numbers a season ago. 778 receiving yards, 4 touchdowns, top 5 in Conference USA in terms of receiving yards per game last year.
Jumbo line formation with two wide receivers into the slot to the left side of Wigman. Moss is in the backfield and gets the handoff and makes a charging push forward and makes a diving reach to extend out and moves it to a 3rd and short at 3rd and 7.
Notre Dame contained him up pretty well there. Riley Mills and Howard Cross anchoring the middle part of this Irish line have a chance to really wreck this game early and get A&M off kilter. It's a big chance for the Irish now on 3rd and 7.
Three wide receivers to the left, Moss to Wigman's right, and Notre Dame goes and flags get thrown, and it's a throwaway pass from Wigman. It was a jump there by Riley Mills, it appeared. Trying to guess the cadence on the snap. We'll hear from Adam Savoni, the referee, for the first time today. And it will be an offsides call to bring up 3rd and 2 now from the 48-yard line. Trying to get into Notre Dame territory. Once more, they'll set up with an empty backfield. 3 wide receivers to Wigman's left, 2 to his right. They'll now bring Moss back to Wigman's right as he stands in the shotgun, now moves him over to his left. Snap comes, handoff to Moss, who breaks through, going to the sideline and steps out for the first down, well past the markers, and gets into Notre Dame territory at the 48 on the other side.
Well, hey, to prep for this game earlier this week, I was playing some NCAA 25 with Notre Dame and Texas A&M, and one of the things that struck me first is that this running back, Le'Veon Moss, has some wheels. A junior from Walker, Louisiana, nearly 500 yards on the ground a season ago in 9 games, and he used that speed to get to the boundary and turn the corner for a first.
Wigman gets a snap. Play action option that goes to Moss, who gets eaten up in the middle. Maybe for a gain of 2, if that. Quickly, Notre Dame collapses in with the quartet of Notre Dame's front line. Moss steps off on the sub as Notre Dame will also take the opportunity to sub in their new defensive line. 3 wide receivers to the left of Wigman. The new back in Smith, to his left side, and Notre Dame flinched in Riley Mills once more, and the referees will converge. And we wait to hear the official call. Still a conversation being had. It
Wow.
will be encroachment, and Notre Dame understood they were going to play in a loud environment. They've tried to guess the snap count, and the place is pretty quiet in comparison to what you've heard.
We thought all the problems would be on the offensive side of the ball with the new O-line and people screaming, but the defense has given up 10 free yards on long-distance situations too.
And now 2nd and 8 from ball on the 46 in Notre Dame territory. Daniels is the running back to Wigman's right with 3 wide receivers checked out to the left. Wigman dropping back, gets pressure, and makes a completion pass over into the 25-yard line, quickly into the hands. And pushing forward as they get moving once more, it was Trey Watson, the tight end, making the grab.
Yeah, Notre Dame brought pressure, and that left Don Schuler playing off of Watson, the tight end, and he just didn't have a chance with the physical mismatch to get up there and make a play on the ball.
Wigman gets the snap, drops back, looking to the left side, now scans back to the right. He's going to get pressure from Heinisch, and now Wigman will run. He steps out of bounds and looks for a little bit of extracurriculars on the back sideline. He's able to make something out of nothing there. Heinisch was able to apply some pressure on, but ultimately got lit up by Trey Zuna, the third-year starter at the left tackle position.
Yeah, good pocket presence right there from Wigman, stepping up when he needed to and then evading to the right to pick up positive yardage, 7 yards. Now A&M's in that red zone where Colin Klein had so much success at K-State last year.
2nd and 3, ball on the 17 with A&M driving. Notre Dame, once again, almost flinched. Play action pass looking for somebody that was not there. And now with a little bit of a chippiness. There's a play action with Notre Dame trying to come off the side and open to quickly get there, and it's unsuccessful.
And we talk about Colin Klein's former success in the red zone. How about the way Notre Dame's defense improved in the red zone last year? 129th in the country in red zone defense in 2022, Marcus Freeman's first year. 2nd in the nation in red zone defense last year, with opponents scoring at only 70.6% clip.
3rd and 3, ball on the 17. They'll bring Allen in motion to the right side. Wigman looks to the right side, and it's a dropped pass. Trying to reach out and get it to E.J. Smith, the running back who is out wide, was sent in motion from the left to right side. It's an incomplete pass to force the field goal for Randy Bond.
Hey, that's why you bring pressure on 3rd down. It was the right decision from Wigman, but because of the blitz, he had to throw it off his back foot. And it was just off the fingertips of E.J. Smith, the Stanford transfer, who had a lot of success in the receiving game against Notre Dame last year.
Randy Bond, one of only 2 FBS kickers last year to get more than 50-plus field goals. The kick is up, and it is good. Texas A&M begins the day leading 3-0. As the cannon gets shot into the air, it's going to be a shootout through the first drive. It's Texas A&M leading 3-0 at 11:07 here in the first quarter. Welcome you back to Kyle Field in Bryan College Station. It was an opening drive that ended in a field goal, but ultimately it was a big stop from Notre Dame's defense into the red zone, forcing the field goal. That's up and good.
Yeah, I mean, you can't say too many bad things about Notre Dame's defensive trip there. You gave up a couple chunk plays through the air, good reads by Wigman down the middle of the field, but aside from that, I mean, I think Notre Dame had a chance to get off the field a lot sooner a couple times. You had an offside penalty on 3rd and 7 just short of midfield. You had another offside penalty outside of field goal range on 2nd and 8. That could have turned into a 3rd and long situation. So once Notre Dame settles in and figures out this snap count, I think they're going to be just fine. They made the big plays in the winning moments. They got the stop on 3rd down, forced the field goal. Now this offense has got to show us something.
The offense comes out for the kickoff, and this is the atmosphere. Fans to their feet, waving the 12th man towel. Randy Bond is back to kick it away. Notre Dame will have a long kick that will go way out of bounds and won't even elicit a return from Jaden Harrison, the first-team All-American kick returner, the transfer in from Marshall.
And here comes Mr. Leonard.
And Riley Leonard and the offense for Mike Denbrock comes out for the first time. This is the offense that no one really knows what it looks like. You know what Mike Denbrock likes to do, but what is he going to do here tonight? We talked about the offensive line throughout this week. How do they handle a big moment in a loud environment that's already only going to get louder? Riley Leonard with 2 wide receivers to his left and his right. Works over. It's Love to his right side. He'll send Harrison in motion. It's a check down over to Love in the flats. Gets broken up for a gain of 4 yards. Down inside the numbers for the 2nd down. A quick pass out for Riley Leonard.
Yeah, Love just didn't have a great feel for where his lead blocker was going right there. He had Jordan Faison out in front of him, blocking up, and he forced his man to the outside, but the problem is Love went outside too, so not much of a gain.
Empty backfield, 2 wide receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Leonard all by himself in the backfield. Waiting for numbers, looking to see if the mic will come.
3 on the play clock.
And ball is snapped low. Riley Leonard's able to make something out of nothing, stays in the pocket, keeps his composure, and fires over to the middle to Jaden Greathouse for the first down.
Composure, that's the word right there. Riley Leonard has seen a lot of tough environments, playing in the ACC. He listed at Florida State going back to last year as the biggest one. Yeah, not quite at home at Duke, but some of those road environments have been tough for him, and he found a way to make that work and find Greathouse over the middle.
1st and 10 from the 36. Faison in motion. It's a handoff up to Love, who's eaten right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there. There will be a gain of 1. 2nd and 9 now with the ball on the 37.
Empty backfield again.
Quickly back to the ball. 2 wide receivers to Leonard's right, 3 to his left, 1 being Connor Flanagan. And now the empty backfield. Riley Leonard gets the snap on the clap, fires down, and quickly is eaten for the tackle. It was Jordan Faison making the grab, but quickly they're breaking in is Lee the third to make the tackle.
Sure looks like Notre Dame's trying to get the ball out of Riley Leonard's hands as fast as possible. Scheme receivers open right off the line of scrimmage. Keep this offensive line a little bit out of play just to start with, especially in the pass game, so they can settle in. But now Notre Dame's going to be tested on 3rd and 5.
3rd and 5 ball on the 41. 3 wide receivers to Leonard's left. Love to his left as well with 1 wide receiver to his right. Faison set in motion over to the right side. Low snap that Leonard's able to get his hands on. He'll start moving. He's got open territory. He cuts it into the left side to the numbers, goes sliding down beyond the 50.
We're going to get a targeting on the back end.
And it most likely will be targeting. A crown of the helmet got let in. This time onto the near side of the ball. It was Dalton Brooks who came crashing in.
Yeah, sorry to jump in there, Jake, but man, I saw the hit coming. It was very clearly late as the officials will huddle up. 2 flags came in. think I could see something fly off of a helmet, too. So there was definitely a little bit of something to helmet contact. I'm not sure whether it was shoulder or head-to-head, but that was certainly a late hit and maybe a targeting foul on top of it.
It'll be personal foul here. It will be targeting, and that will send us into a review here. Because of NCAA rule, they'll now have to go look at it to see if he will be thrown out of the game here at this juncture with the targeting call that would come most likely against the sophomore from Schreiner, Texas, Dalton Brooks.
And Notre Dame is going to get the football all the way down to the A&M 35-yard line now because of this. As the officials, two of them go over to the monitor and take a peek at it. We'll wait and see if we get any type of a replay. Here it is.
It comes.
So Leonard goes for the slide at midfield. He's down, and that is, textbook. Yeah, he's out of the game. That was A&M's number 25, Dalton Brooks, the sophomore from Schreiner, Texas. I believe his night will be over.
Yeah, it is. And on top of it, whether it's targeting or not, it's a late hit. Riley Leonard had already indicated that he was going for the slide, so it's not targeting. Should at least be a late hit, which it will be. But
I mean, there's no doubt in my mind. Brooks has got to be out of here. I mean, he pointed his head straight down at the ground. I mean, how could you call it any other way?
And here we go. We'll get the
He's out.
25. Dalton Brooks will now be ejected from the game for targeting. The safety is now done with the targeting call on the running Riley Leonard. Rushed 58 times last year for Duke in his shirt tenure with the Blue Devils. He's able to pick up a big one there and get a penalty to now put Notre Dame at 1st and 10, attacking on Texas A&M's 35-yard line. Two wide receivers to the left, two to the right. They'll send Cooper Flanagan in motion. Now brings him back to the line. Handoff now up to Ford. Breaks through and trying to get some yardage was Jadarian Price.
Jadarian Price, Texas native from Denison, another chance to play in the Lone Star State where he was a star last year, really getting his first action as the main running back in the Sun Bowl at the end of last year. 106 rushing yards, a touchdown in that game. Now he's in his junior season, sophomore year of eligibility.
Riley Leonard steps back once again with Price to his right. One wide receiver to his right. They'll motion Price off to the left side. Riley Leonard with a two-stop drop back, trying to look for Flanagan. It's a mystery there. No one's there looking for the sidelines. Appeared to be a little bit of a cross-up. No one was going in that intended vicinity. It's now 3rd and 13.
Yeah, Faison was in the area to start near the last point. The crowd and the music's getting so loud here. But, yeah, it looked like he wanted maybe Faison to run a corner out, and he cut it off and turned it into a little bit of a curl on the right side. So, at the end of the day, it's a throwaway. But now 3rd and 13, you're outside of field goal range right now. I know Mitch Jeter's got a big leg, but you've got to move here.
Two wide receivers to the left, two to the right. They'll bring in Ford. They'll fake the handoff at the wide receiver screen. Off to Collins as Collins breaks 3. And looks to be short. So he'll be 3 yards short of the down to gain. And now appears to be the field goal unit will come out onto the field for Mitch Jeter to attempt his first field goal in the blue and gold. All of the 28 would set up for 38-plus yard field goal. Mitch Jeter, the South Carolina transfer, a 92% in his career with the Gamecocks. Hold down, kick is up and good in between the uprights. It's a 3-3 bowl game here at 6:39 in the first quarter. Notre Dame and Texas A&M extending blows through their first drives of the day. Stay with us. You're listening to WVFI, the voice of the Fighting Irish and Notre Dame football. 3-3, Texas A&M and Notre Dame are tied here at Kyle Field alongside Tyler Reidy. I'm Jacob Iron. So happy to have you with us. T. Reed, first indications through the first drives for both offenses.
Yeah, I mean, for both sides, it's the defensive mistakes that have really loomed large. Notre Dame, 2 offsides penalties. I mean, when was the last time you saw a defense commit 2 offsides penalties on the same drive? And then A&M, the targeting foul that gave Notre Dame an extra 15 yards, pushed it into field goal range just deep enough. So I mean, neither offense, I don't think, has showed me all that much so far. I think both quarterbacks have been as advertised. Wigman's made a couple really strong throws over the middle. Riley Leonard was able to take off with his legs and create the targeting foul with a scramble out the left side of the pocket. So the quarterback play has been pretty good so far, but aside from that, it's a feeling out process. Mistakes have been made on defense, and I think now that the adjustments start to set in for drives 2 and 3, we'll learn a lot more.
Mitch Jeter is out to kick it away to the standing Aggie and Terry Bussey, who stands on the goal line. They'll kick right to left, Jeter will. Foot makes contact, and it's an end-over-end kick that will be once again a touchback, and Terry Bussey won't have an opportunity. Connor Wigman and the offense, Texas A&M, comes back on to the field, and for them, they looked strong, being given a couple opportunities there as well, like Tyler talked about, and them trying to find and sustain an offense that can make some moves forward. However, what concerns every individual is non-conference tests here in Kyle Field. Texas A&M since 2010 has only lost twice.
39-2.
39-2 as we one wide receiver now make it 2 to the left with a motioning out as Wigman drops back looking to that left side and trying to extend out for Cyrus Allen. And it's incomplete there. Rather, it was Levon Moss who he was looking for. The left side of the field looking for the numbers just out of his reach, getting off his hands. Now Texas A&M will take the opportunity to sub. Off to the right side will be Moss. Wingman now sent in motion quickly and thrown around and brought down to the ground. It's the motioning slot receiver there. And Terry Bussey, who makes the attempted motion grab on the jet sweep.
I'm not sure he'll get credit on the tackle there, but Jalen Sneed got into the backfield a heartbeat and just went for a ride, grabbing onto the undershirt. He stretched it out quite a few yards, and that slowed down the progress just enough for a couple of Irish teammates to finish it off. Now 3rd and 10.
Ball on the 25. 2 wide receivers out to the left of Wigman, who's in an empty backfield. One to his right side. And now Notre Dame once more flinches, flags fly, going for the one-on-one coverage. And it's attempted grab, and another flag will fly for PI. Cyrus Allen was able to grab and fight off a Don Schuler there. And now it's, yes, accept the pass interference rather than the encroachment.
The pass interference only happens because of the offsides and the free play ability. I mean, it's not that the penalties are happening, it's when these penalties are happening. Again, a long distance situation for A&M. You've got 3rd and 10. Just can't jump off sides in that spot and give them a free shot to the sticks.
As the first offside, that'll be declined by Mike Elko, and it will be pass interference. And that will move the ball quite a lengthy amount. 15 yards.
Sneed jumped offside, and then Christian Gray, who never got his head turned around to play the ball, committed the pass interference against Texas A&M Cyrus Allen.
Now Wigman, only 1 wide receiver to his left, 2 to the right. With Moss to his left side. It's a fake clap. Now Claps gives the handoff back up, has open room. Tried to go for the low tackle. In was number 1 for Notre Dame, Jordan Clark, the ASU transfer. It's unsuccessful, and Moss is able to get a big gain here on the 1st and 10 to move it to a 2nd and 5 at the 45-yard line. Now quickly back under center. Wigman drops back looking for a pass to the left side. Makes it complete to Jordan Walker. Breaks through one tackle and is finally brought down by Xavier Watts on the tackle. But Heed Walker, the senior from Cleveland, Ohio, makes the grab.
Walker last season led the Aggies in 100-yard games with 3 yards per catch, with just a tick under 17 per catch.
4:57 left to go here in this first quarter. Empty backfield for Wigman. They'll now bring Daniels off to his left side as Wigman will now go under center with the I formation, and he'll just go for the tush push here at a 3rd and 1 on the 49, and he clears the line to gain handedly. Should set up for 1st and 10, but now the referees converge with a flag down on the near side.
Ooh.
And it's a false start on Texas A&M.
How about this dichotomy early on? Notre Dame keeps taking the penalties on the long distance situations. Now A&M takes one needing only a yard.
Wigman out under center and decided to try and go for the push. It was a false start for the Aggies to back it up to 3rd and 6 with the ball on the 44-yard line. 3 wide receivers to the right. Now bringing in Daniels to his right. Wigman dropping back, going to have pressure and a quickened throw. Bethella was getting to Wigman quickly. And it's a broken up pass to 4th down, but now Texas A&M Aggie is down on the ground. And we'll get the attention of medical staff.
Believe that's Kalinu Fayu, the junior center. If it's 61, that would be him. It's somebody with a 60. And the other 60 on their starting line, the left tackle Trey Zune, is walking off the field. So I believe that's the center.
It will be Fanu through the binoculars. And
just want to go back, however, to that 3rd down play from Notre Dame. Give credit to the pressure, but also give credit to Christian Gray in coverage. He had a couple mistakes on that drive, the pass interference penalty off the offside. He missed a tackle on the 2nd down play that set up the 3rd and 1 as he was in coverage, but that time he stuck right with his coverage guy, Cyrus Allen, the slot receiver, coming across the field from right to left and broke on the ball to knock it incomplete. And once this injury timeout concludes, we hope the best for Fayu. The Aggies will have to punt.
No immediate word as Mike Elko is now out there as well with Fayu, who's getting helped up. It will be 4th and 6 from the 44-yard line.
I beg your pardon, that's Mark Nabu Jr., who's listed as the number 2 guy on the center depth chart, but he's in there at center.
Mark Nabu will get helped off with 4th and 6 to come from the ball on the 44-yard line. Punt to ensue for the Aggies.
And Nabu Jr., a guy who last season made 12 starts. 11 of them came at left guard, just 1 at center. He's got 13 starts, now 14 for his career. And A&M might have to look for a secondary option.
Tyler White is out to punt it away. Faison is back to receive the kick. He signals for the fair catch, steps up and makes the grab. Faison will, and it will bring us to a media timeout. It's a 3-3 ball game between the Fighting Irish and the Aggies with 3:59 left to go. Here in the first quarter, you're listening to WVFI, the voice of your Fighting Irish. 3-3 ball game here on WVFI between Texas A&M and Notre Dame. Right in the concourse, we bring you Notre Dame college football for the 24th season on WVFI. Alongside Tyler Reidy, I'm Jacob Irons. Drive stalled out for Connor Wigman and the Texas A&M Aggies. Punted it away, and now a 1st and 10 with the ball on the 13 for Riley Leonard and Mike Denbrock to try and get something going and get the first touchdown of the season.
Yeah, pretty deep in your own territory for Notre Dame, but the defense just created some momentum with the stop. Let's see if the offense can pay it off as they come out to the field with 2 tight ends set. Reardon and Flanagan are in there on the right side. Haven't seen much Mitchell Evans so far.
1 wide receiver to the left. 1 to the right. They'll move Love out of the backfield and over to the left side, empty now for Riley Leonard, who goes. It's a designed run off to the right side. He goes crashing down. They'll make a guard and gainage of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 with the ball spotted right at the 16-yard line. Now, with 3 wide receivers set to the left, 2 to the right, empty backfield for Riley Leonard. Leonard waits for the snap. Hits the clap. Low snap. Quickly up, and it's a throw. That's too far out of the reach, trying to lead beyond the sticks for Harrison.
I believe Bo Collins might have been the target there.
Bo Collins.
Yeah, Marcus Ratcliffe, the sophomore from San Diego State, transfer, broke on the ball quickly. Nearly a disaster for the Irish as they face 3rd and 7.
Now 3rd and 7. Devin Ford is the running back to the right side. 1 wide receiver to Leonard's right, 3 to the left. He steps up to give the signals. They'll motion Ford off to the left side now, still echoing to his offensive line on the 3rd and 7 with the ball on the 16. Snap comes. Leonard spins out of it, hit the B move and throws it low and works away from it. What almost looked like was going to be a sack. He was able to stay on his feet and just throws it down and into the ground. It'll be a punt now for Notre Dame. Give Texas A&M a huge opportunity close to their own territory.
I am not sure what the left guard Sam Pendleton was looking for on that play. He let a free rusher go right by him. No interference whatsoever from the offensive lineman, and the running back Devin Ford was off to leak out on a potential receiving play. Leonard tried to find him eventually, so the free rusher got home.
James Rendell, the Aussie, boots one to bounce at the 50 and will continue to keep rolling. And will go all the way past the 40 and will finally get touched down at the 37-yard line. A boot of a punt from the Aussie. James Rendell, prepped at Pro Kick Australia, one of the best for international kickers. He steps in and does a great job. There's a lot of similarities for him and what he needs to do. And to Flanagan, that was the doubling kicker for Georgia Tech. As a booting bomb there for Rendell, and now Connor Wigman steps on for Texas A&M. And now from their own 47-yard line, Moss will get the handoff, cuts it off to the right side, and gets eaten alive by the crashing defenders. Moss is able to make the gain of 4, 2nd and 6 coming. The ball on the 41.
Jaden Osbury in on the stop there for Notre Dame. Just a 4-yard pickup as the Irish continue to contain the A&M run game early. This Aggie offense really struggled to run the ball last year, outside the national top 100 in rushing yards per game.
Runner set in motion, and now empty backfield with Wigman trying to look, steps up into pressure, sees an opening, and takes a run and goes diving forward and is able to move the sticks and get the first down on the undesigned run there for Connor Wigman. Was looking to the left side, scanned back to the right, saw an opening right up the middle of the field, and is finally able to step up and decides to run. And it's the Notre Dame linebackers that come crashing down. That time, it was Jack Kaiser, the captain.
Just the 9th career start for Wigman, but he is showing the pocket presence of a KG veteran tonight.
Wegman wins the soft count with a wide receiver to his left, two to his right. They'll send another in Walker in motion off to the right side. It's a jet pass sweep and continuing to move. Walker's able to step up around a gain of 6 to move it to 2nd and 4 with the ball on the 45.
And now A&M into Notre Dame territory here. This is the most consistently they've moved the ball on the drive so far. The Irish still have a chance to make a couple of big plays and get off the field. We've seen them do it before.
One wide receiver to Wingman's left, two to his right. Moss off to the right side, and a shotgun for Wigman. Snap comes in. It's a handoff to Moss, who cuts through, sees an opening, and will move the sticks once more for a gain of 5. Finally, a run that opens up for the Texas A&M Aggies.
Big lane opened up on the left side of the line as A&M really cleared it out nicely. The tight end, Trey Watson, had a nice block on the perimeter.
Snap comes back to Wingman, scanning around, looking. Heavy of a dart, trying to go to the diving Allen to the far sideline and can't get there to make the grab. It's incomplete, bringing 2nd and 10 from the 39-yard line in Notre Dame territory.
Real quick, an update on the injury for Texas A&M starting center Mark Nabu Jr. He has not returned. It is Kalina Fayu, the junior, in his place, snapping the football and anchoring the O-line.
Coming in is Bostic, the sophomore from Palatine, Illinois, to come running in. He's off to the left side with two to the right. Handoff once more up to Moss, who kicks through, sees an opening, and at the linebacker core of Notre Dame goes crashing on to Daniels, who got the handoff. That should bring us potentially to the end of the first quarter with 17 seconds and ticking off the clock.
A&M's been playing with tempo so far, but they're going to wrap this one up.
As they will make their move over to their sideline to end the first quarter. 1 quarter in the books of the 2024 season for Notre Dame. And it's a 3-3 tie between the Fighting Irish and the Aggies. We'll see you for the second quarter when we return here to WVFI. The second quarter gets underway here from Kyle Field. It's a 3-3 ball game between Notre Dame and Texas A&M. Von Miller being honored during the commercial break, a part of the slew of Texas A&M greats that are back in town for what is one of the premier games here for this Texas A&M squad. They take on Notre Dame this week. They got a week off. They got a week in McNeese that comes back here. Then they go to the Swamp to take on Florida, who lost handedly to Miami Hurricanes. But their big games here is when Texas comes back in the 30th of November. Really, other than that, nothing at home that has the same marquee feel as Notre Dame and Texas. This is one of those big games that you got to have on your calendar circle.
Well, I will tell you what, though. LSU and Mizzou are a couple of teams you've got to watch out for knocking on the door of the top 10 down the stretch. They're both coming here in October, so it's a loaded home schedule for A&M this year. It's got a lot of potential to be big time.
Wegman back in here for a 3rd and 3, and flags will fly with the whistles coming in. And it will be a false start against the Texas A&M Aggies. That'll move them back once more. Another costly 3rd down penalty, Tyler. Now move it to 3rd and 8 from the ball on the 37 for Wigman in the offense.
Not only does it create a more difficult 3rd down scenario, it now moves field goal range into a questionable spot. The Aggies have it at the 37 of Notre Dame.
Daniels off to Wigman's left side. Play action pass that is caught over quickly by Walker, who juts in inside the numbers and is tackled down right at 48-yard line.
Today Walker showed some bounce, jutting that back to the inside and getting dangerously close to the 1st down, but not close enough. And now A&M is going to bring out the kicker Bond once again for what looks to be a 49.5-yarder or so.
Now 49 yards here. That is career long of 52. Bond sets up. Snaps down, hold is good. Ball with plenty of distance goes through the upright. It's now 6-3. Texas A&M leading with 14-14 left to go here in College Station. A massive kick there from Bond puts them back on top. We'll stay here through the media timeout. Offensive, they have shown some signs of moving, then get stalled out in their own red zones.
Yeah, A&M has had a few chunk plays here and there, nothing really to write home about. They did it on the first scoring drive, mostly through the air with a couple of long passes down the middle, and then on this pass drive, it was the run game that really got going on the left side of that offensive line. And then for Notre Dame, the first drive, really everything came on that targeting play on the end of Riley Leonard's run to the left side. Second time around, the offensive line had some trouble holding up, and Leonard was under duress playing from inside his own 15-yard line. So we'll look for the Irish to try and settle in a little bit more, try to get back into their quick game on offense. And Notre Dame really hasn't established the run game at all, which shouldn't come as too much of a surprise. They've tried maybe once or twice with the running backs. Leonard has taken off by design once, but this A&M defensive front is the strength of the team. There's zero debate about it, and now that Mike Elko is here, that unit only gets stronger with his identity as a run-stopping, defensive-minded head coach. And against the inexperienced offensive line, they've had their way so far when Notre Dame has decided to run the ball a few times. So Irish, make no mistake, they can't be one-dimensional tonight. They're going to have to get a few pop plays on the ground going eventually, but for now, it certainly looks like A&M is going to have their way in the trenches.
Yeah, they have had their way. And really, one of the big pickups in the offseason for Texas A&M was Nick Scorton.
Yeah.
The Bryan, Texas native. Started his college career with Purdue. Hits the portal after coming in 4th in the Big Ten in sacks and led the Big Ten in sacks with 10. 4th in the Big Ten in tackles for a loss with 15. he comes in and is an individual that has applied a lot of pressure to the left side today on Anthony Nett.
Certainly. Second team All Big Ten selection a season ago was scored, and now he's a preseason All-American from Associated Press, ESPN, Sporting News. There's a lot of belief in his abilities, and for good reason. When you put up a 50-tackle season with 15 TFLs and 10 sacks, and you bat down 3 passes as well at the line, you're going to find yourself in some pretty good company, and Scorton brings a lot to an A&M defensive front that was already very solid last year.
Very solid for Scorton. Finished his last 7 games of the regular season with the Boilermakers with a sack. He has been fabulous and looking to try and continue that here. As both special team units come out, Notre Dame's only once did it come off a late as Bond comes out and sends it end over end once more beyond Harrison for the touchback. And Notre Dame's offense will come onto the field at 14-14 left to go to the end of this first half.
Just a housekeeping item real quick. It's Jared Zirkle, the transfer from Georgia, handling the kickoff duties for Texas A&M, a guy who was in his first full-time year as a kickoff specialist with UGA last year. That's some pretty good experience coming into A&M, one of the handful of SEC transfers the Aggies have. That's a guy who's got 2 national championship rings.
Yeah, 2 national championship rings, decides to move it over to College Station. It's 2 wide receivers to Leonard's left, 1 to his right. Send 1 in motion off to the near side. It is a throwing pass that's just too far out of the reach of Raritan. And it's 2nd and 10 now. Ball stays on the 25-yard line.
Ryland Kennedy, the sophomore from Mansfield, Texas, had the coverage as Raritan tried the crosser right to left, and Leonard's timing just wasn't quite in sync with him.
Leonard with an empty backfield. Now brings Raritan in motion, sends him back out. Blitz appeared to be coming off the right side. Now they'll bring a running back in Price to the left side of Leonard with 1 wide receiver up. He looked to the right side where there's 3, and it's caught quickly to the near side with Chris Mitchell. He goes out of bounds, and it's a gain and a pickup for the first down to move the sticks. Here for Notre Dame, moving the ball to the 37-yard line.
Great to see Chris Mitchell get his mark on the first half here. Transfer from Florida International, who really showed in that blue gold game back in April that he can create some space on the boundary, and he did right there.
Price to the right side of Leonard, 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Leonard scrambling and finds a connection pass there. Breaks free and finally is able to get brought down as Adarian Price. He came out of the flats in the backfield, makes the grab, and once again moves the sticks here. Notre Dame's got momentum making the run. 2 wide receivers, now brings out Raritan to the right side. Now 2 to the near side. An empty backfield here for Riley Leonard. A low snap, drops forward, sees an opening and gets clobbered up. Tried to step forward and make an attempt at the rush, but quickly in there on the tackle is Taurine York, the sophomore captain for the Aggies, making the tackle for a loss.
Sophomore captain, you don't hear that very often, but that's what happens when you're a freshman All-American in an SEC All-Freshman team selection a year ago.
2nd and 10, ball on the 50. All about handoff. It's now a throw off to the right side and goes running out of bounds. The line to gain there, and it was Harrison trying to make the grab, and does, and goes behind the sticks now for a 3rd and long, a 3rd and 12 at 48. This is what Notre Dame was fearful of. It's exotic play calls from Mike Elko at 3rd and long. This is what Marcus Freeman and Notre Dame wanted to avoid. 1 wide receiver to the top, 3 to the bottom. It's Price off to Leonard's left side. He gets the snap, drops back, fields pressure, Motions off to the right side. He sees a lane. He's going to try and run out of bounds and won't gain anything. If that, it will be a gain of 1. And it will be a big 4th down here with Notre Dame's offense coming off the field to bring on the punt unit.
A&M went with the man blitz right there with Leonard looking to find somebody on the right side among those 3 options. But, I mean, A, the pocket broke down pretty quickly, and B, none of those guys really generated separation off the line of scrimmage, which is what you need against a man blitz to get the ball out quickly. And Leonard just has to take off, and A&M hung right with him well. Wonderful coverage on the play defensively to slow down that effort.
James Riddell comes on, and timeout will be taken by Marcus Freeman at Notre Dame. Their first of the first half. Interesting call for a timeout there, Tyler, with a punt looking to ensue. With 4th and 11 with the ball on the 49-yard line on the back end of it.
Well, Notre Dame was, for whatever reason, kind of skittish coming off the field there as a unit after the 3rd down stop. The offense took a while, and the punt team was in a huddle for probably 10 seconds longer than it should have been. So to avoid the delay of game, I suppose, Marcus Freeman takes the timeout.
Now the punt unit back out. To receive it is Terry Bussey for A&M. James Riddell boots it away. High arcing punt. That Bussey will take and move forward. Still on his feet, cuts back, and it's finally brought down in at the 17-yard line on a turnover of downs. It'll be Texas A&M football with them driving. They have the lead 6-3 with 11:17 to go here in the first half. (6-3), Texas A&M leads here from College Station on a primetime kickoff match to start the season between number 20 Texas A&M and number 7 Notre Dame. No touchdowns have been scored just yet. It's all been field goals, and For Wigman, he's going to step out and try and create some more momentum, as they already have a 3-point lead right now. With Notre Dame's defense coming out to try and apply the stop. There's an offense that looked lackluster in the past before they had to boot it away. Waiting for signs to go. There was so much talk about the heat. Thank goodness, as Marcus Freeman talked about, that Notre Dame had a heat wave. It feels like nothing in comparison to the 98 degrees South Bend felt back on Tuesday. One wide receiver to the left, two to the right. Wegman drops back with extra coverage from Moss. He steps up, looks for the crossing route. High throw, it's intercepted. Notre Dame is able to pick off the ball. And it's by who else but Adon Schuler, an individual looking to take a step forward. And he makes a massive step and gets the Notre Dame defense their first interception of the season. And it's a big turnover and a costly one for Notre Dame.
Young man, that is your first collegiate interception. Congratulations to Adon Schuler, as the pass went too tall for Noah Thomas. Hard to miss a 6'6" target over the top, but Wigman did. And it looked a lot like Xavier Watts' first interception against Caleb Williams last year. Just kind of playing center field. Ball gets thrown over the top, and you've got an easy one right into your chest to take back the other way. And let's see if Notre Dame can punch this thing in.
They want to need to capitalize on the opportunity that stands in front of them. 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. Trying to get into their red zone off the gift of the interception of Adon Schuler. In motion, Notre Dame will get the handoff and cuts back, and it'll be a gain of 1. And Jeremiah Love on the carry there. Steps forward. Bring up 2nd and 7. Now Notre Dame, 2 wide receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Riley Leonard, Raven Cooper Flanagan. It's a designed run for Riley Leonard. He's got blockers. He's tight roping the sideline and gets the first down and reaches for the pylon to get the first. And it will be just short, and the flag does come out. And it's holding against Notre Dame to back it up. And it is off Flanagan.
One of those perimeter blockers on the left side clearing out the lane for Riley Leonard. Now you go back to a 2nd and 16 from the 35, yep.
Ooh. There's going to be some distance with Love directly behind Leonard. 2 receivers to the top, 2 to the bottom. Love now sent out wide on the motion. Leonard looks for the quick pass. It's a wide receiver screen. Quickly moving, staying on his feet, and finally getting pushed out of bounds off to the near side. Has Bo Collins picking up the grab.
They've liked him in the screen game so far. The Clemson transfer spent the last 3 years with Dabo Swinney and the Tigers. Has taken a couple of those screen passes and showed some good jolt, finding the open spaces, following his blockers, and now it's 3rd and much more manageable for Notre Dame.
3rd and 5 ball on the 24. Love off to Leonard's right side. 2 receivers to the top, 2 to the bottom. Clap comes, pressure shown. Leonard stands in the pocket. Deep throw down to the corner of the end zone. Nothing there, flag flies. Pass interference. The pass was intended for Jaden Greathouse. In coverage was Tyreek Chappell. And it will be PI called against the Aggies. It was what everyone loves to play in NCAA college football, the fade route to the corner end zone. I know my dad loves that play. And there gets the call for the pass interference. While incomplete, gets the automatic first down and moves Notre Dame well into the red zone, putting the ball at the 9-yard line.
Yeah, Tyreek Chappell, the nickelback, just shoved Greathouse out of bounds. His claim was that there was hand fighting going both ways, but it was pretty clear to see who was pushing harder. 1st and goal.
1st and goal from the ball on the 9. Love off to the left side. They'll bring in Raritan. Handoff goes to Love. Love cuts in and is eaten up by this front four. Getting the initial tackle and jumping right on it was Cassius Howell.
Howell, one of those transfers on the Bowling Green defense, or rather, he's from Bowling Green, now with A&M. 13 of the 30 Texas A&M defensive players listed on the depth chart are transfers for this season. He's one of them coming over from the MAC.
2nd and 8, Bull on the 8. It's empty backfield. Love sends out to the top of the set. Riley Leonard looking to left side, looking for Love, and it's a ball thrown out of the reach of Love, in on coverage there on the back side.
Damian Sanford.
Was Damian Sanford. And now a 3rd and 8. Riley Leonard with the hands over his helmet holes, trying to hear the sideline to player communication. New here in the 2024 season. 3rd and goal, Notre Dame knocking. 2 wide receivers to the top, 2 to the bottom. Running back in, Love off. Right side, Riley Leonard rolls out of the pocket, looks to try and make a throw intended for Ford, and it's a ball spiked in the dirt to bring up the field goal unit for Notre Dame.
Scorton's hurt. Nick Scorton is hurt. That is a big development for A&M on the defensive front.
Nick Scorton is down to the turf here as Kyle Field goes silent, as they understand how important he is to their 2024 aspirations.
Yeah, he was in pursuit on that play and then kind of collided with a free Notre Dame offensive lineman. I think the A&M crowd wanted a hold on the play that sent Scorton down as Leonard got free, let the pass go, and it fell between Devin Ford and Mitchell Evans. And Scorton, very good to see, is back to his feet quickly, but he is limping significantly back to that A&M sideline.
Gingerly, he goes to the medical tent.
Yeah, he looks very uncomfortable and keels over as soon as he gets to that sideline.
Field goal unit out for Notre Dame. Mitch Jeter is set to take it. Snap back, holds down, kick is up and between the uprights. It's a tie ball game. 6-6 between Notre Dame and Texas A&M with 8:32 left to go in the first half. We'll take a break and be right back. You're listening to Notre Dame football on WVFI, the voice of your Fighting Irish. after the field goal from Jeter. It's a 6-6 ball game between Notre Dame and A&M. After kicking the field goal, he takes the pause for the commercial break and comes back out to boot it for Terry Bussey. Stands at the goal line.
We have no reason right now to believe the momentum of this game is anything other than 50-50. It's a tie game. It's been field goal versus field goal. And, A&M, if anything, has won in the trenches so far, as expected. But now they're starting to get hurt in the trenches, physically.
End over end. Bussey will take it out as it's short of the end zone. He goes diving down at the 20, at the 19-yard line. Tough spot there, and it's 1st and 10 with the ball on the 19 for Texas A&M, looking to respond off the field goal. Atmosphere, well, it was talked about, 102,000 capacity crowd. Both sides haven't necessarily had too much to really break open about and cheer for. Notre Dame was knocking on the door there. Feel like you have to score with that opportunity out in front of him, as Wigman gets the snap and hands it off to Moss, who goes diving forward on the run to the right side. Sees an opening in the B gap.
And you want to talk about freshmen who have an opportunity to make an impact early this season. Kingston Viliamu-Asa, a high-ceiling freshman, just was able to slip up the runner. Moss, there was a face mask missed at the end of that play by the officials.
Wigman drops back, looks to the left side, and it's caught broken free by Allen, who gets quickly taken down by Christian Gray, who is in coverage.
And there's another Aggie hurt.
And now
another lineman. Oh, boy.
You got to start feeling for this Texas A&M squad on the line.
Oh, I don't think that one was a face mask. Gray came close, but I think he was yanking on the mouth guard of Allen.
And came out. And now, once more, another Texas A&M Aggie is down. For Mike Elko, felt his team came out of training camp extremely healthy, had themselves, and it was really said by both sides, Notre Dame had the fewest injuries in 15 years out of their training camp. Mike Elko, in his opening presser on Monday, felt his team was the healthiest he's had in his career going out of a training camp. Now, however, they have been banged up in the trenches quickly.
Wow, once you get into the real game, all bets are off. Fall training camp kind of goes by the wayside, and you just got to survive out there. And the injured Aggies, the right guard, one of the few offensive transfers, Armanje Reed Adams, a Dallas native who spent his last 4 seasons at Kansas, and he's limping off the field with what appears to be a lower body concern.
And he goes limping off. Does have a first down that the Aggies will be able to work with from their own 37-yard line. Moss off to the right side of Wigman. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the top. Quickly moving in motion is Allen, and handoff there off to Moss. It goes to the left side. And gain of nothing, actually a drop of 2 yards there for 2nd and 12 with the ball on the 35.
Rod Hurd, Notre Dame's Northwestern transfer at the safety position, came up, hit him low. A perfect play from Hurd. Last year's All Big Ten honorable mention with the Wildcats.
Receiver sent in motion to the near side into the slot. Dart of a throw from Wigman that's broken up. Intended pass there, looking to go to Walker. It's unsuccessful. Now brings 3rd and 12 with the ball on the 35. Quick throw from Wigman. And it was Benjamin Morrison in coverage there. Now a 3rd and long here for Texas A&M. Moss off to Wigman's left. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far. Wigman, 2-step drop, shifts off to the right side now, evades a tackle from Cross, and it's a sack for Notre Dame. Howard Cross is able to get in there and get the sack to force a punt. It was big pressure off from the right side, and it's a senior from New Jersey That makes his presence known in the Lone Star State.
Mr. Irons, do you remember what happened last year when Howard Cross went up against the Mike Elko-led Duke offense?
It was a fumble, don't I recall?
Well, he tortured them. 13 tackles, and then the strip sack of Riley Leonard to win the game for the Irish. And yeah, he's Elko's worst nightmare again right there, getting home for the deep sack. That takes him all the way back 11 yards.
Now the punt from Tyler White to go looking for Jordan Faison. White with a towering boot that's not going to have too much distance to it. It'll drop down by the numbers and will get favorable bounce and runs right out at the 15. It was high and skied in the air, hit the ground and rocketed right back into it like a second punt and kept bouncing all the way to the 15. Looked like nothing, but don't worry, Tyler White gets him something.
Yeah, he was amped up coming off the field. I mean, honestly, I don't care whose team you're a fan of. When you see a punter with some emotion, that's one of those things you have to be like, football.
For the
cool
brand.
Stuff, right?
For the brand.
Punters are people. I mean, Pat McAfee was here today. You got to respect it, right?
Got to.
So, hey, Notre Dame backed up again inside its own 20-yard line, and when they had deep position 2 drives ago, that was where they struggled most.
Ball on the 14, handoff will go, and it's broken up, and quickly, still on his feet, though. It's finally brought down as Jadarian Price was in on the carry. Doesn't get a yard, gets 2 yards there. 2nd and 8, moving the ball to the 16-yard line.
As a team now, Notre Dame with 10 carries for 17 yards.
It is
not ideal.
Been rough sledding for them. Darian Price off to the left side of Leonard. Leonard steps up, fires a crossing route. That is made and brought down quickly into the middle of the field. Jordan Faison makes the grab there. And it's a big first down to move the sticks for Notre Dame.
Faison's coming off the field with a limp.
And that's not what you want to see.
Right leg may have been rolled up on there for the sophomore two-sport star.
Won a national championship with Kevin Corrigan, the men's lacrosse team in the spring. 2 receivers to the top, to the bottom, but it'll be a handoff, splitting through season opening. Quickly on the move, staying on his feet, cuts back to the near side. It's Price starting to make a move. A big yardage gain for the rushing attack that had been stifled all day long. And Jadarian Price shows the Price is right, but a flag in the backfield. It'll be holding to bring it back most likely. And it will be holding called just as Notre Dame had broken free with Jadarian Price. They bring it all the way back.
So what you're saying is that run did not advance to the showcase round.
It did not advance to the showcase
Dang
round.
It. Yeah, and a great call by you, too, all for naught. But, yeah, Notre Dame opened up that middle illegally. Price with all sorts of room to run through. And, hey, great move off initial contact, too, as he went to the secondary, challenged the safety head-on, broke free of that, and picked up an extra 30 yards. But it all comes back, and now it's 1st and 14 at the 20.
1 receiver to the top of the field, 3 to the bottom. Running back off to the right side, they'll hand it back off again. This time, it is Love on the move. Oh, baby. It's Valentine's Day in August. Love is able to gate 3. Season opening to the left side, runs to the sideline and tattoos with it all the way down. And a big rush there, and Notre Dame quickly back to the line.
29 yards, gets him to the 49, just short of midfield.
Clap there thought of. Now Leonard drops back, looks off to the right side, sees a streaking Chris Mitchell, and it's an incomplete pass. He is unable to reach out for, is just too far out in front of the FIU transfer who led the Conference USA in receptions.
I want to go back to that run from Jeremiah Love. I mean, one of the things he did so well last year in his first season as a freshman, changed the pace of Notre Dame's rushing attack. Audric Esme was the big bowling ball. He's got wheels. He can get north-south fast, and he did it right there on the sideline.
Leonard with the handoff, back up into the gut of the defensive attack.
Love again.
And it's Love keeping on the presence. And they are able to move the chains with that rush to bring it to 1st and 10 with the ball on the 41-yard line. Notre Dame playing with tempo. Love stays in. One wide receiver to the top, 2 to the bottom. Heads will pop up and look to the sidelines to get the signals and official play call into the headset. Leonard drops back with Love to his left side. Snap comes. Handoff up to Love, but flags come flying, whistles comes in. Should be a false start here. Wait for the official word. It will be false start from Adams Boy, referee for this evening's contest in the heart of Texas. On that 46 with 3:19 left here in this first half. Riley Leonard barking out the plays to the offensive line. Handoff on the jet sweep off to the right side. Cuts through, and it is Harrison who comes and able to make a move forward. And Jaden Harrison gets a gain of maybe 1. Or excuse me, gets it for a gain of 4 to move it to 2nd and 10. Now at 2:52, Leonard bring the Raritan tight end in motion. Handoff, play action, batted back by Riley Leonard. Quickly there was Nick Scorton.
So he's back.
He is back and makes an impact quickly. And now, just like that, a massive 3rd down for Notre Dame. 3rd and 9 ball on the 46. Kyle Field is ruckus. The cacophony of sound is barreling with 102,000 at the capacity crowd. 1 receiver to the top, 3 to the bottom, off to the left side. Great out set in motion, sent back to the near side. It's a screen off to the right side, trying to make a move and try and cut 3, but it's the Texas A&M Aggies eating it up quickly. It was Devin Ford who went out into the flats trying to make a grab, makes it, and just can't get any distance. And now Notre Dame will keep the offense on the field. A gutsy call at 4th and 9 with a ball on the 40. They went jogging off, they come back. 3 to the top, 1 to the bottom of receivers. They'll wait to get the signal call to the right side. Devin Ford, the running back, to the right side of Leonard. And referees will come charging in. It will be a timeout on the field for the second. For the timeout here of the first half. The 2-minute timeout brings us here and brings us to a 3-minute break. We'll be right back here on WVFI.
Walking back to Kyle Field, so happy to have you with us. It's a 6-6 ball game between the 7th-ranked Notre Dame Fighting Irish, the 20th-ranked Texas A&M Aggies. Jake Miles, Tyler Reidy, our engineer, Dylan Wallace, with us this evening. It's been a back-and-forth contest. It's a flip of the coin who really has made their mark. And for both sides, it has come with some offense that has looked
stagnant at times, however, has looked beautiful at others, and it's been the defenses for both sides. You knew the defenses were going to play. For Texas A&M, came in first in the SEC and not allowing the amount of rushing yards they possess. As Rendell steps out onto the field for the punt, with Terry Bussey back for Texas A&M. And for them, they have stifled Notre Dame's rushing attack. Snap back to Rendell, the punter. It's an end-over-end punt that's going to drop in at the 20, bounce, and give a very nice favorable bounce in at the 12-yard line. And a little bit of extracurriculars as Bussey came stepping forward, and Notre Dame is able to touch it down and find themselves back within it. And it's going to be Wigman who's going to run a 1 minute and 49 minutes left on this first half clock. Notre Dame trying to get the ball back and build some momentum going into the locker room at the half.
And they can change plays in a hurry. Last time A&M was really backed up in its own territory. Wigman threw the interception to Schuler, who's out there at the safety position alongside Watts, as A&M has everybody close up to the offensive line with 4 receivers.
Wigman drops back, and it's almost a picked off play there, quickly getting to it was Jaden Mickey. It's a pass out that is complete off to the right side to Walker, but Mickey was so close there, it felt like he could run out and grab it. But it's a gain of 3 nonetheless. For 2nd and 7 with the ball on the 14, Wigman hands it off to Moss, who motions forward and has a gain of 4, and a timeout comes here from Marcus Freeman. The second of this first half at 1:17, setting up for a 3rd and 5.
All right, so that short yardage play on first down from A&M kind of flipped the script on how everybody wanted to handle these last 2 minutes. The Aggies essentially packed it in and started running the ball, either forcing the game to go to halftime or the clock to stop with a Notre Dame timeout. The Irish do stop it, but now it's still 3rd and 5. A&M could convert this potentially, and with all 3 timeouts, go back into a 2-minute drill. So we'll see what happens here.
It's a big spot and a big game. The marquee matchup of Week 1. Notre Dame, Texas A&M. Mike Elko versus his former quarterback in Riley Leonard. It has lived up to all the hype through just around 9/10 of the first half. They'll bring all the wide receivers in to play into the slot. Moss gets moved from the right to the left side of Wigman. Wigman with a hard snap count. Finally gets the clap. Bounces back with a throw out to the right side. Mickey tried to jump for it. He couldn't get there in time to make contact. And it's a first down pickup for Texas A&M. And just like that, back into the 2-minute drill.
Noah Thomas making the catch right there. Mickey went for the all-or-nothing play, diving out to try and just break up the pass when maybe he could have stayed back behind. Or rather, it was not Jaden Mickey, actually. That was Jordan Clark in coverage, 1-7.
Now with a 1st and 10 of the ball at 20, Wigman takes 2 steps back. Rhodes now has a lane to run and runs out of bounds just short of the first down onto the right side of the field. It'll be 2nd and 1. The ball on the 35. Clock stopped at 1 minute and 5 seconds left here in this first half. Wigman has Moss go to his left side. 2 receivers in the slot, and it's a handoff to Moss, who cuts 3. Had an opening, tripped over his own feet in the hole that he was running through, just collapses in. with the Notre Dame defensive line pushing their way to block it, but it gets the first down, and it'll be a 1st and 10, and now a little bit of extracurriculars, and Notre Dame's very experienced core comes in to break it up.
It's starting to get a little bit feisty after the whistle as A&M uses its first timeout with 58 seconds left. Aggies still comfortable running the ball just to guarantee the first down pickup there and get the new fresh set and the initial clock stoppage. Now the timeout will give them a chance to talk over the new situation. They've still only gained about 22 yards in 50 seconds worth of time, so they're going to have to move a little bit faster if they want to put points on the board before halftime, but they still do have the 2 timeouts to help them do that.
For Notre Dame's defense, they've lived up to the mentality of bend, don't break. Done a really good job once Texas A&M has crossed into Notre Dame's side of the field to hold them to a field goal. No touchdown scored. It's been all field goals here in this 6-6 ball game with 58 seconds left to go in this first half. Wigman sends the wide receiver in Bussey in motion to the near side. Looking to the right side, though. Long ball that's just out of the reach of Cyrus Allen. Trying to extend it down the far sideline. Ball just too far out of his reach to move to 2nd and 10. Clock stops at 53 seconds.
Playing a dangerous game when you throw down the field into Benjamin Morrison's coverage, and then the safety coming across the field to pick off the football or deliver a hit is Xavier Watts. Those are 2 major playmakers in the secondary, and Wigman split him with that throw. Lucky to keep it in A&M's possession.
3 receivers to the bottom, 1 to the top, with Daniels off to his right side. Wigman gets the snap, drops back. It's intercepted. Back up, and Notre Dame picks it off for the 2nd time today. This time, but who else? It's Xavier Watts, the nation's leader in interceptions with 7 last year, makes his first of 2024.
I told you, he's a pretty big playmaker. Pretty dangerous when you throw it in his direction. That's why credit Jack Kaiser for keeping the coverage tight and forcing a precision throw from Wigman. He had to put it in the perfect spot, and he got hit a little bit too, so the ball was just way back behind the receiver, and then Watts came sliding out in front of the tight end, Theo Mellon Ostrom, the Swede. And Watts picks up his first interception of the year in a big spot. Notre Dame has a chance to push it back the other way with 46 seconds left in the timeout.
46 seconds, 1st and 10, ball on the 49-yard line. Notre Dame comes out with Price to the left side. Leonard dropping back on the motion. It's a halfback screen that goes to Price. It'll be a loss of yardage there. And a loss of 1 to bring up 2nd and 11.
There's a flag down, too. I think they actually might have lost 4 there.
As now referee Adam Savoy, as they will be holding against Notre Dame, and just after they got the interception and thought they could make themselves something offensively, get stifled once more. A 6-6 ball game with 41 seconds to end this first half. 2 receivers to the top, 2 to the bottom. Notre Dame has Love to the right side of Leonard. Notre Dame will send Greathouse in motion. It's the handoff now to the far side of the field. Cutting forward is Love, staying on his feet, and is able to cut out and over. And it will be a gain of 3, 2nd and 17 now. The ball on the 42.
Yeah, we're going to halftime, it looks like.
With
10 seconds ticking.
Notre Dame won't use their timeout. It's a 6-6 tie through the first half. No touchdowns for either side. It's been field goals for both Notre Dame and A&M. It's a matchup that's lived up to it. What adjustments are made for the second half? We'll find out. Tyler Reidy will have the call for the back half of this one right here on WVFI, the voice of your Fighting Irish.
Welcome back to Kyle Field in Bryan College Station, Texas, where the Notre Dame Fighting Irish and Texas A&M Aggies are locked into a 6-6 dogfight in week one. Under the lights, the sun has set in the Brazos River Valley, and we are back. Tyler Reidy alongside Jacob Irons. Here at Kyle Field, 6-6 ball game. The score indicates the way the game has been played so far. Very balanced. Jake, what stood out to you about the first half?
Very balanced. What stood out to me was Notre Dame's lack of ability to start a rushing attack. For them, that has been some of their pillars, especially last year with Audric Estime, that they have some strong backs. A couple of them in Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price. Both of them are very well and experienced backs that have been able to take that next step forward. But for them, even in the spring ball game and all throughout the training camp, you thought they would be ready. They have failed to show up there, and whether that's them, whether that's the weak offensive line that has really not given too much time, it has been a really tough attack sledding in the trenches on both sides of the ball.
We'll get you caught up on the scoring so far tonight. A&M got it going with a 34-yard field goal make with 11:07 to go in the first quarter from Randy Bond. Notre Dame answered with a field goal of their own with 6:39 to play in the first. Mitch Jeter hitting from 46. And then it was Bond answering for A&M with a 49-yarder less than a minute into the second quarter. And then at 8:32 of the second quarter, Jeter connected on a 26-yarder, bringing us to the 6-6 score. When you talk about the tough sledding on offense so far, you look at Riley Leonard in his debut, 11 for 19 with 74 yards. On the other side, Connor Wigman is 7 for 17, 68 yards. He's thrown 2 interceptions. It has not been easy for these quarterbacks.
No, it has not been easy, and it's because the defenses they are going up against. Offenses had all the question marks. They had all of them. It was the defenses you knew on both sides of the ball. A little bit more for Notre Dame because you knew the returners were going to be there. But for both these sides, defense has been their claim to fame. For Mike Elko, that's his bread and butter.
Yeah.
He's a defensive coordinator at Notre Dame and at Texas A&M. Both defensive coordinators, Al Golden on the other side for Notre Dame, really have shown out and showed out for their respective teams, making big stops in big moments. This defense is going to have to hold on for another 30 minutes of football for both sides. It's a question of who gets right now that first touchdown in my mind.
Notre Dame will take the football first to open up the second half. At the 5-yard line and the goal line.
To field the kickoff. I'm going to see a more clear entrance to the second half than what Texas A&M just did. This place is going to roll. Ball slide into the breeze. It's played on the side for Harrison. Comes up, tries the right side, runs it along the 20, and then spins down into a pile about the 24. And there Notre Dame will begin their first drive of the second half in a 6-6 ball game. Irish really struggled initially to get the ball moving on the ground. Hit a couple of chunk plays about midway through that second quarter. Jake, how key is this run game going to be down the stretch for the Irish?
You got to open up the run game right now for the Irish. You got to be multidimensional. Right now, they're trying to run it with the RPO as a pseudo-fake run game. It's not really working. They know a pass is coming into the flats. They got to open themselves up to be multidimensional to make it hard for the Texas A&M Aggies.
First and 10 from the 24. Leonard in the gun. Jeremiah Love runs from his right out wide to the left. Leonard the snap, throwing on a slant route to Flanagan on the right. He spins off a tackle at the 30. And then out to the 33 he goes. So the pickup 9.5. It looks to be just short of the first down line to gain. It'll be second and inches for Notre Dame, but a good quick start on the 9-yard pickup to Flanagan.
Trey Jones in on the tackle there. It looked like it was a designed halfback screen off to the left side. Leonard looked it off to the left and decides to go for the streaking Flanagan to the right.
Second and 1. Leonard in the gun again. Love the back to his right. Here's the snap. It is a handoff to the left side, and immediately down to the grass goes Love with several A&M linemen in on the play. Shamar Turner led the charge, and it'll be 3rd and 1 at the 33 for the Irish.
Shamar Turner Had 10.5 tackles for a loss last year. Top 20 in the SEC, showing it right there.
Leonard in the gun again. Snap, handoff, Love. He gets hit hard at the line to gain. Bounces off the initial contact. Gets pushed back once more. Was his forward progress enough to move the chains? He only needed a yard and went straight up the gut behind his left guard, attempting to pick it up.
The line judge came in and agreed with the back judge, and it will be short. It's 4th and 1.
Oh boy, and the offense remains on the field. Notre Dame at its own 33-yard line has 15 on the play clock, still looking at the sideline. The offensive linemen have not come up to the football yet. 10 on the play clock, 4th and 1 at the 33. Leonard finally gets set with 5 to snap it. They're in the gun. 2 to snap. And it hits 0. And Notre Dame has to burn a timeout in this close game on the opening drive of the second half. That is not what you were looking for if you're an Irish fan.
That is a tough play. It's so loud. I don't necessarily know if anyone was looking at the play clock. You were more trying to focus on communicating what the play call was going to be at 4th and 1. Notre Dame, especially in a tie ball game at 6-6, with two teams that have looked very even, you want to preserve those timeouts in those key moments, and to use one here on the first drive of the third quarter is not what you want to have happen. In that situation, I would have preferred to take the penalty and just elected to punt instead of burning the timeout there because of how good your defense has been.
It remains a 4th and 1 at the 33. And here comes the offense out of the timeout huddle. My goodness. It'll be Leonard in the gun. Devin Ford, the experienced running back, stands to his right. 2 receivers left side. Greathouse and Mitchell. Collins alone to the right. A&M shuffles the defense, pitching them inside. Greathouse comes in motion to the line. Here's the snap. Leonard takes it himself, running behind Ford. He's got the first down, breaking through across the 35 and to the 40-yard line with the pickup.
And that's the geniusness of Mike Denbrock. Decides to have it in the gun and just be a designed run for Riley Leonard. Why do you need to be under center for that? He understands that. Gets it off to the right side. There was an opening off to the right. Does a great job by Emil Wagner to create that hole.
Shotgun snap on first down. Leonard looking to go deep, slings out right side, and Devin Ford had not turned to look for the ball yet as he ran the out route toward the sideline, and the throw sailed behind his shoulders. 2nd and 10.
Ford just didn't turn his shoulders in time, like you mentioned, Tyler, to look for where the ball was. And it was also where Riley Leonard was throwing, but also his throwing hand seems to be a little inflamed as well.
Yeah, good catch. He's holding up to the line for 2nd and 10 at the Notre Dame. Leonard in the shotgun. Flanagan across the immediately in the backfield for a hefty loss. It'll be 3rd and long, 11
to gain for Notre Dame coming up. Chris Anderson, the defensive back, came in off the left side and quickly got to it. He's fired up and rightfully so. It's set up for a 3rd and 11.
Leonard in the gun again. To his right stands Devin Ford. Mitchell Evans has returned to the game at tight end. He's in the slot left alongside Greathouse and Mitchell. Collins isolated to the right. Here comes the 3rd down snap. Leonard, 5-step drop, moves ahead in the pocket, has room to run, going up the middle, angling left, taking on a defender. He's thrown down right at midfield. Doesn't look like he'll have enough for the first down, but it's awfully close.
It's 4th and 2 here. Offense is staying onto the field with a couple substitutions. And Notre Dame understands you have to be aggressive here in big moments, and this is a big moment on the first drive.
Damian Sanford made the first down saving tackle. It's 4th and 2 Notre Dame. Irish at their own 49. Ball spotted at the left hash mark. Leonard in the gun. To his right stands Jeremiah Love. 2 receivers right side. Greathouse comes in motion to the left from the slot. Leonard claps his hands twice, runs with it himself one more time, darting to the right, lowering his shoulder. He stood up at the line. And at the A&M 49, it looks like he may be short. The officials will get together and discuss the spotting of the football. It turned into a mano-a-mano war at the line to gain as Leonard put his shoulder pads down and turned it into a low man win situation. But the Aggies met him at the spot, and they'll bring on the measurement crew.
The chain gang will bring him out, and this is a big spot right now. Notre Dame elected to try and make that move. They once again went to the handoff. Instead of giving the handoff, they keep it with Riley Leonard. And Riley Leonard is not afraid to use his body. The 6'4", 216 senior from Fairhope, Alabama, went with his shoulder and said, forget about it. I'm going to try and go get it myself. And now the chain gang is out. And it looks, it's going to be close. We might need the flash card.
Ball spotted on the midfield logo, and it is really close. And he did not get there according to the spot on the field. A&M football right at midfield.
You cannot get a closer call on the fourth down spot than what you had there. It was a millimeter back of the line where it needed to be to gain. The chain gang does not prove to be successful for Notre Dame.
And Notre Dame head coach Marcus Freeman has continued the conversation. It looks like Notre Dame has asked for a second look of the football spot. They put it at the 49-yard line, right on the right edge of the A in the Texas A&M midfield logo. We'll take another look at the replay being shown on the TV screens in front of us in the concourse. 3 A&M defenders combined to stand up Leonard.
Now this is going to be your line you want to watch. We get it with the SMT first down line. I don't think he got there. I think it's a generous spot to be as close as it is.
Scooby Williams, the transfer from Florida, an in-conference transfer, made the first hit that slowed Leonard's progress. And also helping him out on the play, Shamar Stewart, the Miami, Florida native and third-year Aggie, stepped in.
I just don't see how this is a first down for Notre Dame.
Well, it looks pretty close. We're seeing a side angle. Leonard's second effort might have gotten it.
It might have.
It depends on when the official stopped forward progress. It looks like he got it with his second push. The question is, was the play still live when that happened?
Exactly. Was it Notre Dame playing through the whistle, trying to extend for it? And that's what the tough part of that angle is we'll get a call.
Oh, he stopped. The ruling stands. And Texas A&M takes over at its own 49-yard line. What a momentum swing that is early in the second half with 11:14 remaining in the third quarter. A 6-6 ball game swings back in the favor of the Aggies.
Now for Notre Dame. While you don't like to turn the ball over, you feel somewhat confident in the fact that your defense has been playing really solid today. They're going to need to come up big here in the biggest moment they've been put in.
Wigman in the gun on 1st and 10. Moss stands on his left side. Wigman claps his hands twice. Now once more. Here's the snap. Handoff Moss trying the right side. Batella forces him back in at midfield. And that's a no-gainer on the outside run to the right for Le'Veon Moss. 2nd and 10 coming up from midfield.
Great play there by the graduate student in Jack Kaiser, who came in blowing it up to push it down after a little bit of leg fighting there from Moss. Kaiser, a vocal leader and an experienced leader for Notre Dame.
Wigman in the gun, 2 tight end set. They're both on the right side of the line. Moss remains in the game, standing to the quarterback's right, 2 receivers left side. Here's the snap. Wigman dropping deep, sets his feet, throws left side. It's complete. Morrison misses a tackle as Jade Walker cuts it inside the 40, paralleling the left hash mark for an A&M first down.
Big A&M first down there. Coming across the middle of the field, Jordan Clark able to just get his hand on the ankle of Walker, but quickly to the line.
1st and 10, Notre Dame 39. Shotgun handoff left side, Moss. And again, the Irish plant him immediately. Gain of only 1 yard brings up 2nd and 9 from the Notre Dame 38. So we get another look on the monitor at the Walker catch and run. Morrison was again draped all over him with tight coverage, but missed tackles at the point of the catch for Notre Dame continue to hurt.
Continue to hurt here. And for Notre Dame got to hold strong there. A big stop on the rushing attack that Texas A&M haven't had all that much success with. 19 attempts to 60 yards only.
2nd and 9 at the Irish 38 for Texas A&M. Wigman in the gun. Moss to his left. 2 receivers on the right side. Here's the snap. Wigman looking left, throws it there, and it's incomplete, short of his intended target. The graduate tight end Shane Calhoun, an East Carolina transfer. 3rd and 9 coming up.
3rd and 9. It was a 3-bunch set off to the left side. Just put it too low, trying to keep it out of the reach of the defender in coverage there for Notre Dame. And ultimately, it's too low for his own receiver. But now another 3rd and 9. Notre Dame's defense needs to come up big.
3rd down and 9. Ball at the Irish 38-yard line on the left hash mark. Wigman in the gun. He points Moss to stand on his right side as the running back. Bunch set of receivers to the right, 1 isolated to the left. Here's the snap. It's a handoff to Moss, who cuts it back up the middle and goes down quickly short of the 35. It'll be 4th and long, likely outside of field goal range for the Aggies.
But once, like Notre Dame did, the offense is not moving. They're staying out on the field. Notre Dame took a gamble on the 4th down. Now Texas A&M and the Aggies are going to gamble here.
A&M 11 for 19 on 4th downs last year. They need 8 from the Irish 37. Wigman in the gun, 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Moss the running back. Here's the snap. Wigman in some trouble, heaves it down the right sideline, and the receiver doesn't see the ball. It's incomplete, and Notre Dame, it appears for now, has taken over. Micah Tees was running down the right sideline with Christian Gray in coverage, and Tees never looked back for the ball.
Tees was running it like it was going to be a designed run there. Off the right snap, Notre Dame flinches, and it doesn't cross the line for the encroachment, and Wigman thought he may have had a free play there, I think, and decides to try and go back to what was successful for him in the first half of on the flinch and the encroachment, to then just try and throw the fade down to the line and see if he could even get past interference. But that time, there's no flinch to be called, and it gets us to a media timeout.
Yeah, how about that start to the second half? Notre Dame comes up empty on 4th down near midfield. Texas A&M does the same at the Irish 37-yard line. Notre Dame takes the football when we come back in a 6-6 game. 8:55 to play in the 3rd on WVFI. $8:55 remaining in the 3rd quarter. 6-6 the score between Notre Dame and Texas A&M. The season opener from Kyle Field, a venue constructed back in 1905. The Aggies have called it home since 1905 and built in 1927 fully with the stands and everything for Texas A&M in 1927. And back in 2015, a near $500 million redevelopment made it the largest stadium in both the SEC and the state of Texas. Now it's the 6th largest non-racing stadium in the world, and it's packed to the brims tonight.
It's packed to the brims with capacity crowds. And we came in yesterday, was taking a look at it. From afar, we're like, it's not really that big. You get up next to it, and you put in 5-6 Jake Irons next to the stadium. It's a little big, T. Reed.
Just a little bit. Notre Dame looking for a big drive beginning at the 37-yard line. 1st and 10 after an A&M turnover on downs. Riley Leonard in the pistol with Jadarian Price standing behind him. 2 receivers, a tight end to the left side. Now Price shifts into the gun with Leonard. Here's the 1st down snap. It's dropped by Leonard. He scoops it up, scrambles out to the right side, gets positive yardage as he cuts upfield and twists down at the 40-yard line with a gain of 3. And for the second time tonight, Riley Leonard turns a dropped snap into something positive for the Irish.
That is senior composure. Understanding, I'm going to be fine. I'm going to recollect it and make some motion forward. But a really good job by the offensive line to the right side of Billy Shrouth to create that hole so that he could go grab some yardage.
2nd and 6 at the 41. Shotgun snap. Leonard looking right to throw. He lofts it over the defense, incomplete on a corner out to Flanagan, who shoved out of bounds with a Notre Dame 1st down into Texas A&M territory across the Aggie 45.
It's hitch corners off the right side, and it goes right there. Flanagan is able to expose the zone, staying back into coverage off that right side, and opens up an opportunity near to the sideline to the far side.
1st and 10 at the Aggie 43. Leonard and the Irish on the move with the Notre Dame signal caller in the shotgun, Jadarian Price to his left. A&M loads up the box. Here's the snap. It's a read option. Leonard keeps it to the left side and now throws it in the flat to Flanagan, who stumbles inside the 40, picks up solid yardage, about a 6-yard gain to the 37. Now a flag comes in at the end of the play, several seconds after Flanagan had been tackled, right near the spot of the tackle.
They're motioning for offensive pass interference.
Jaden Thomas is up in arms. The call goes against him, and Notre Dame once again backed up by the officials, and Thomas is very upset.
Marcus Freeman talked extensively throughout the week. You need to limit the offensive penalties and the penalty miscues that can occur. And for there, just not what you want to have happen. Moves it to now 1st and 25.
Wow.
Out of the attacking territory, and now puts yourself back on your own 42-yard line.
7:39 to go in the 3rd quarter. 6-6 game. Leonard in the shotgun. Price to his left. 2 receivers either side. Flanagan comes in motion, nestled up against the line. Here's the snap. Leonard throws another corner out to the right side. Bo Collins makes the catch and then turns upfield before taking a hit to bump him out of bounds. Back across midfield. Notre Dame gets a good chunk of the penalty yardage back. 11 yards to make it 2nd and 14.
Yeah, and really good job there by Mike Denbrock. Not trying to go for it all, just trying to eat up at the play a little bit, and now opens up for an opportunity. Try and go now to the far side of the field.
2nd and 14 from the Texas A&M 47. Leonard in the gun. Price to his left. 3 receivers left side. Here's the snap. It's a handoff up the middle to Price, who darts out to the left side, turning the corner. He's loose inside the 20, down the sideline and gone. Touchdown Notre Dame. Jadarian Price with a 47-yard house call, and it's 12-6 Irish.
Up until that point, Notre Dame rushing really had missed their big play. It was small yardage gain after another. But don't worry, Jadarian Price cuts out into the left side of the field, has an open, and takes it in 40 speed, unlike anything we've seen, and he
first extra point in a Notre Dame uniform. Jeter 33 for 34 on point after attempts last year. Here it comes. Snap good, hold good, kick good. And Notre Dame takes a 13-6 advantage just over the midway point of the 3rd quarter. The teams go to a break. We'll take one with them. Jadarian Price, a 47-yard touchdown run to give Notre Dame the lead by 7 on WVFI. 6:50 to play in the third quarter. Notre Dame has just taken a 13-6 lead here at Kyle Field. This not the only game going on tonight involving AP top 25 teams in college football. 5th-ranked Alabama is up 56-zip on Western Kentucky. 6th-ranked Ole Miss 73-0 over Furman right now.
With how much time left in that one? 12 minutes.
12 minutes. Well, how about this one? Oregon.
Hey, the Vandals trying to steal a win there.
Lead early in the fourth quarter. Here the Irish already first 47-yard touchdown run, the first touchdown of the new season for Notre Dame. Elliott Jeter is out for the kickoff as Texas A&M plays from behind for the first time
all day. Notre Dame has not led until this point.
And right now, you wouldn't even expect it with how amped this crowd is. They know they got to get loud and they got to be proud here at Kyle Field. They're ready to go.
Jeter's kick sails away down the middle of the field. No chance at a return for Bussey as it bounces underneath the goalpost for a touchback. And here comes the Aggie offense. Still held in check tonight as expected by this Notre Dame defensive unit. 6 points on the board now and over 38 minutes played with a couple turnovers.
But you can't get sloppy, T. Reed. That's what's going to happen here. Now because you have the lead, you might want to be relaxed.
Yeah.
You cannot be relaxed against Connor Wigman. Understandably, he's had his injuries, but he has shown that if he's given an opportunity, he will make the throws necessary in key moments.
1st and 10, 25-yard line. Wigman in the gun. 3 receivers on the left side. Here's the snap. Handoff up the middle as the running back Moss takes off and angles to the right side for a gain of 4 yards to the 29. Le'Veon Moss continues to work as the feature back tonight for A&M, setting up 2nd and 6.
Yeah, Moss comes in on 14 carries it for 35 yards so far right now, and has done a really good job beyond the rushing attack, being able to go out and make himself a threat in the slot.
2nd and 6 from the 29. Wigman in the gun again. 2 receivers either side. Here's the snap. Throwing the flat. Moss wide open left side. Angles back inside. And gets around an ankle tackle to get close to the first down. He's a yard short at the 34. Good work after the catch from Moss to bring the Aggies to 3rd and short.
And really good job by Moss. Able to work it by a couple Notre Dame defenders, one there being in that spot. Luke Talek, the safety, who gets crossed up with a little bit of a juke move. Now set up for 3rd and 1.
3rd and 1, shotgun formation. 3 receivers to the left. Now one comes in motion left to right. Now coming back to the left side. Here's the snap. Fake the handoff to the motioning receiver. Run up the middle, gets 2 yards. And now for an Aggie first down at the 36. Armani Daniels carried the football there and moves the chains with a 2-yard pickup. And the wind is really starting to pick up here in the second half with 5:15 remaining in the third quarter. 13-6 Notre Dame.
Everyone was concerned about the Texas heat. It has not been a Texas heat. It's been a nice, cool, overcast day with wind from the moment we got here yesterday till this evening.
1st and 10 Aggies at their own 36. Wigman in the gun. 2 receivers either side. Here's the snap. A low one at his hip. He handles it. Throws out to the right side where it's caught on a curl by Jade Walker. Lunging down to the 43 with a pickup of 7 yards as Christian Gray again had the coverage for Notre Dame.
And when you're in man coverage like Notre Dame was there, a curl is so deadly because Christian Gray is taking that step back, and all of a sudden it's a quick step forward to turn back to the ball and is able to make the grab, and Christian Gray was just a couple steps back behind it watching it.
2nd and 3. Here's the snap. A run up the middle. Picks up the first down right at midfield for A&M. It's a gain of 7 yards as Daniels toted the rock again and pinballed off of Botello to move the sticks a second time on this Aggie drive.
It's just little death by 1,000 cuts right now for this Texas A&M offense. They haven't seen necessarily a big chunk play yet. It's just been little gain after little gain.
1st and 10 in the midfield. Shotgun formation for Wigman and company. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. There's a tight end on the right side of the offensive line. Daniels still the running back. Here's the snap. Handoff to Daniels up the middle, and he picks up absolutely nothing. Irish stand him up right at the bottom of that Texas A&M midfield logo, and it'll be 2nd and 10 as Notre Dame broke through with plenty of numbers. Boubacar Traore on the stop along with a couple other teammates.
Yeah, one of those is Donovan Heinisch, the sophomore from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, saw an opening and really came through to stop the second push that was trying to make a move forward.
2nd and 10 at the 50. Shotgun snap again coming to Wigman. The running back stands to his left, Daniels. Here's the snap. Handoff right side, and again, nowhere to work. No gain right at midfield as the Aggies look to turn the corner with a run play. I beg your pardon, E.J. Smith, the Stanford transfer and son of Pro Football Hall of Famer Emmitt Smith, a great in the state of Texas with the Dallas Cowboys. No gain, 3rd and 10 coming up.
3rd and 10, and for Notre Dame, got to be stout in your defense. You know pretty well that Wigman is going to go out looking for a pass. They're going to bring 3 bunches up to the top.
Shotgun formation. 3 receivers bunched up, as you said, to the left. Here's the snap from the 50. Wigman steps up in the face of pressure. On the run to his right. Cuts back to the left and tackled just inside the 45 with a pickup of 6 yards. And that forces decision time for Mike Elko and company. 4th and 4 upcoming from the Notre Dame 44-yard line.
And it looks like Mike Elko is going to put chips in here, keep the offense on the field.
Backfield empties out. It's officially 4th and 5 from the Notre Dame 45-yard line. Texas A&M just failed a 4th and 8 conversion on their last drive, leading to a Notre Dame touchdown. Now Wigman in the gun. 3 receivers left side. Notre Dame nearly jumps, and now the flag is thrown. Botello was moving around on the left side of the Irish defensive line. The crowd reacting as if it'll be an offsides call, but there's still a question of whether an A&M player moved. And it's a false start. Wow. It goes against the A&M right tackle, Demetrius Crownover, the junior.
It was a little weird at that moment that the referees would blow it dead because I didn't think Botello had an opportunity to get to the quarterback unimpeded.
Oh, and the fans are incensed. And this turns a go-for-it situation into a punt scenario. On 4th and 10 from midfield, the Aggies will kick it away. Irish nearly get home for the block as it sails to the 10-yard line, over the head of Greathouse and into the end zone for a touchback. Now I think Aggie fans are upset about contact with the punter. Not a great drive for their emotions. Regardless, Notre Dame will take over with 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
And here came in through it, and it was just an after the play call. There was nothing really there to have anything be there for the flag to come flying.
It's a sell job, too.
It really is.
He sold that.
Because he's already has his legs out from under him. He's in the air, and just guys are flying at him. They can't stop their momentum.
Well, Tyler White might have an Oscar in his future, but no flag coming up for that one as we'll take a break on WVFI. 1:22 to play in the 3rd quarter. Notre Dame's got the football back, up 13-6 from College Station. We're back at Kyle Field on the campus of Texas A&M University. Notre Dame leads Texas A&M 13-6 in a heavily hyped up season opener for 2024. 13-6 Irish with 1:22 to play in the third quarter. Tyler Reidy on the call alongside Jacob Irons. The advertised entertainment here inside the stadium and the gameplay has been competitive as expected both. And now Notre Dame has a chance really for the first time all night to take the ball with the lead and build their lead to 2 possessions.
If they score here, you feel really confident going into the fourth quarter. You got 1 minute and 22 seconds left here in this third quarter. You can have a long, strenuous drive for Texas A&M defensively. That would be huge for the opportunity that it would give for your defense to come out fresh and rested.
1st and 10 from the Irish 20. Leonard in the gun. Devin Ford shifts from his left to his right. Here's the snap, press coverage, design run for Leonard. Right side has some space as he bowls his way forward across the 25 and to the 27-yard line with a first down pickup of 7.
Unsung hero on that play is Eli Raridan off to the left side into the slot. Comes crashing all the way over to get a key block to extend the hole and open it up for Riley Leonard to go through to the right side. Really well-designed run. I like how much Mike Denbrock is leaning in to the gun run.
2nd and 3 from the 27. Shotgun snap again to Leonard, who wants to throw. Gets it out quickly to the left side. It's juggled and nearly intercepted. Oh, what a chance that was for Will Lee III, the Kansas State transfer, locked up in tight coverage against Jaden Thomas. Instead, 3rd and 3.
Oh, baby. Will Lee almost had a house call going the other way. No one was there to defend him as well. But it's a great job by Thomas going through and starting to defend to break up the interception rather than trying to catch it himself. He was looking to defend.
Empty backfield for Riley Leonard. 3 receivers left side, 2 to the right. Eli Raridan, the tight end, is wide out to the right side for Notre Dame as it's 3rd and 3 from the 27. Leonard walks up to the line, steps back and takes a snap. Pressure coming, he's hit hard, and the pass goes incomplete. Wide of Raridan, 4th down as the Irish go 3 and out.
No one got there in time. It was Shamar Turner. Or rather, Stewart there, that came blasting through. Just no one was there.
And again, it was the left guard position with Sam Pendleton going to the wrong guy.
You knew Sam Pendleton didn't have much experience on the left guard, but there decides to shift his focus to the right, instead leaving open Stewart, who came barreling home. Oh, baby.
Rendell steps to the right, gets the punt away. It's a very good one. Driving back, Bussey, the return man, who makes the catch at the 25, darts to the left side, and picks up solid yardage before the Irish bring him down at the 35. Now 32 seconds remain in the third quarter, and once again, here comes the Texas A&M offense with an opportunity to get the ball game tied up.
It's back and forth. If you like 2 good defenses, this has been the game for you. Both defense has shown that they are rested, they are reserved, and they are ready to put themselves in big moments. And for Notre Dame's defense, though, it wasn't much of a rest. They got to go back out there after a quick 3 and out.
1st and 10 at the 35 for Wigman and company. He stands in the shotgun, taking the snap, handing off to the left side for a good pickup of yardage and missed tackles that send A&M's running back out to the 47 with a gain of 12. That's Le'Veon Moss picking up a dozen yards and taking it just short of midfield on what should be the final play of the third quarter.
However, it looks like
they want to go. A&M hurries up and snaps it. 1st and 10. Wigman wants to throw. Sidesteps pressure. Runs out to his left. Has space to turn the corner and go out of bounds over midfield into Notre Dame territory. And that definitively will be the final play of quarter number 3. A 6-yard scramble for Connor Wigman. On to the fourth quarter. A 1-possession ball game in this marquee season opener between the Irish and the Aggies. 13-6 Notre Dame headed to the final 15 on WVFI. We're back for the final quarter here in College Station. 13-6 Notre Dame. The Irish looking to close in on a win that would catapult them into the college football playoff expressway heading into the final 11 games. A chance for a big 1-0 start, but first, a very important 15 minutes coming up for the Fighting Irish.
Very important 15 minutes, as you alluded to, Tyler. And this is a defense that has answered the call when they have needed it. But once again, you start to go on in the game. You have now played for 45 minutes. Yeah, 45 minutes. My math there.
It's syllabus week. We're not learning a lot right now.
We're not doing the math. But 45 minutes, your body is starting to get tired. It is hot. It is 67 degrees with high humidity that makes it feel a lot hotter. For right now, your body is wearing down. You got to dig deep. Who wants it more? For both these two programs, they understand how big getting a big marquee matchup is in week one.
2nd and 4 Aggies at the Irish 47. The handoff goes to Le'Veon Moss, continuing to break out of tackles as he runs to the right side and pushes the pile inside the 40 with a Texas A&M first down. That Notre Dame defense may be starting to wear down a little bit after an impressive first 3 quarters. Broken tackles are starting to pile up on this Texas A&M drive as they move it to the 39.
That is really strong leg movement. Just kept churning in the pile, and it's a great job by the offensive line of the Aggies just to keep pushing forward and wait for the whistle to come.
First down snap from the Irish 40. Wigman looks to throw, stepping up in the pocket. It's out to the right side and out of Moss's reach as he tried the out route to his running back in the flat. Incomplete for a 2nd and 10.
Both quarterbacks have shown it's week one. They've been extending their throws a little bit too far beyond where the receiver is. You saw that for Riley Leonard a lot in the first half. But here for Wigman, it's a little bit more now that he is passing and trying to get a little bit more yardage and chunk plays, extending the passing and just putting it too far out of the reach after the 2 interceptions.
2nd and 10 at the 40. Wigman in the gun. To his left, Armani Daniels. Here's the snap. Handoff Daniels up the middle. Has a crease. And then he's hit hard with a flag flying in right as the contact came at the 36. As it stands right now, this will be 3rd and 6. And could this be a targeting foul?
I have no idea what this is. We'll get word.
Oh, no. It is. No.
Hand to the face.
Hand to the face. Okay. I saw the official put his hand up to the head and couldn't tell from here whether it was a closed fist, but it still is a 15-yard personal foul against Howard Cross. That brings Texas A&M all the way down to the 21.
Tough spot there. And now Texas A&M knocking.
Wigman in the gun again. 1st and 10. E.J. Smith to the right of his quarterback. Now he shifts over to the left side. 2 receivers stacked to the left side, 1 isolated to the right. Here's the snap to Wigman. Stepping, looking to loft it. Now a bullet pass to the right sideline falls incomplete. And behind the back shoulder of the tight end, Theo Mellon Orstrom, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, right there, Don Schuler on coverage the entire time, playing him tight the entire way. It was a forced throw by Wigman, just trying to see if he could let his receiver do something. But Schuler, we talked about in the fall camp how impressive he had been. He has showed out today with an interception, his first of his collegiate career earlier.
2nd and 10 from the Irish 21. Wigman in the gun, 2 receivers either side. Here's the snap. Handoff. E.J. Smith up the middle. Got a crease to the 15. Back inside of the 10 and down at the 7 with a gain of 14. Setting up 1st and goal to go for Texas A&M.
A hole the size of the Lone Star State opened up to the left side, and Smith is too good of a back to let that happen. It's a great blocking move by Masadas, the left guard, to open up the hole, bringing with him Howard Cross, pushing him to create that opening, and now
1st and goal snap. Wigman lofts a fade route to the right side. It's incomplete, and a flag comes in. This will be pass interference in the end zone against Notre Dame.
Yeah, Jaden Mickey there is going to get it against him. He was all over him, and I don't believe it is at the far end zone of the field. I don't think he ever looked back to find the ball.
It's just hand fighting all the way, and it's a pass interference foul. That will move A&M even closer with 13:15 on the clock in the 4th quarter. Notre Dame clinging on to a 13-6 lead, but it's in serious peril of falling right now. First and goal at the 2 now for A&M. I formation, just one receiver to the right side. Wigman under center. E.J. Smith, the running back. He gets the carry going left, and Notre Dame trips him up short. No gain on the play as Jalen Sneed came in along with Joshua Burnham.
Yeah, Jalen Sneed got to him, came blitzing off from the right side, quickly got into the backfield, and was able to grab hold of the ankles. Notre Dame now 10 penalties for north of 100 yards so far.
Wow.
And we're only in the fourth quarter with 12 minutes still to go.
They've almost been exclusively on defense,
Yeah.
which is exactly what we didn't expect. Second and goal from the 3. Pistol formation for Wigman with a tight end just in front of him on the left. Here's the snap. Wigman, design run, going up the middle. Makes a cut, gets to the goal line, and comes up just short at the 1. This Notre Dame defense making a stand as Drake Bowen, the sophomore Mike linebacker, came through the middle to make the stop.
Drake Bowen got off his block, as textbook as shedding a block can be, pushed him to the side and pushed forward as soon as he realized Wigman was going to try and cut back to go his way.
Third and goal at the 1. What a big moment in this game. Aggies had it first and goal at the 2 just moments ago. 11:58 remaining in the fourth. Irish up 7. Wigman in the gun. Here's the snap. Handoff up the middle, and it looks like a touchdown. Sure is. Texas A&M pulls back within a point on a Le'Veon Moss 1-yard touchdown run up the middle.
When you're at the 1-yard line, there's not much you can do there as the cannon that we've been hearing all day gets sent into the air. Kyle Field is exploding with emotion. And at 1-yard line, you can't guard it that much. Just it's an opening up the gut with the offensive line that really has a lot of experience. 3 starters return to it, and they open a big enough hole up for Moss to go in.
Extra point on the way from Randy Bond, who didn't miss a single one all of last year. Hasn't for his entire career. He's now 74 for 74, sending that one through to tie the game. 13-13 with 11:49 to go in the fourth quarter on the 7th career touchdown run for Le'Veon Moss. We'll be back in a moment on WVFI. The Irish and Aggies right back to where they started, even at 13 at Kyle Field. We're back with 11:49 to play in the fourth quarter. The Notre Dame football season opener currently tied at 13 apiece at Texas A&M. Tyler Reidy and Jake Irons on the call from Kyle Field, where it is currently very loud as the Aggies just punched in a 1-yard touchdown run to even up the score.
very loud. Fourth largest crowd in the history of Kyle Field. North of 107,000 have packed in to Central Texas, and it has been loads of fun all day long. You love college football, this has been the game for you. It shows why College Game Day started the morning early at 8 a.m. It shows why everyone was out and about tailgating all day long in the heat, in the sun, and it's given a game that has lived up to everyone's expectations. Whoever walks out of the way with a win today finds themselves in a conversation for being in the college football playoffs pretty quickly.
No question. For A&M, it would be a top 10 win at home. Aggies were 0-5 against ranked opponents all of last year before Mike Elko arrived. Notre Dame with a chance at a huge win in a nasty environment on the road as the ensuing kickoff is away and through the end zone for another touchback. And here comes Riley Leonard in the Irish offense, back in a tie game at 13 all, first and 10 at the 25.
If you're Notre Dame, you need to respond. You don't need to necessarily go get points here. You have to go get on the Texas A&M side of the field. That's what you need to have happen. Once again, your defense went back-to-back out there pretty quickly after a quick third and out. You need to give them time to settle, rest, get some water in them, get a Gatorade, get the electrolytes back up.
First and 10 from the 25. Leonard in the pistol. Jadarian Price, the touchdown scorer for Notre Dame, shifts into the gun to his right. Here's the snap to Leonard. Handoff up the middle for Price. He runs into a wall, and Texas A&M bottles him up. Behind the line of scrimmage, it looked like, as the Aggies came bursting through with Shamar Turner.
If there is a question mark that I have coming out of this game, win or loss, it's going to be whether Sam Pendleton will be there again. He once again negates his man. In that time, it's Nick Scorton that he's supposed to block that just gets right through. He's nowhere to be found where he is supposed to be. He doesn't have a man.
Second and 10 at the 25. Leonard in the gun. Bo Collins shifts from right to left. Here's the snap. Leonard wants to throw. Has time. Steps into his pass, and it's complete on the left side at the boundary to Collins, who picks up just enough for the first down on a 10-yard gain to the 35.
Notre Dame lost a lot in the wide receiver room. They gained a lot there, and a great move there by one of the transfers in Bo Collins, able to hit a curl, sneak it back, and a quick and well-composed throw from the senior Riley Leonard.
10:45 to play fourth quarter. 13-13 the score here in week one. Riley Leonard in the gun. Price to his right. Three receivers on the right side. Now Collins shifts from the slot over to the left. Here comes the snap to Leonard. He handles it low. Looks to throw to Collins on the left side. Back shoulder incomplete, out of his reach. Airtight coverage from Des Ricks, the freshman transfer from Alabama, forces second down.
Des Ricks, one might have known what he had for lunch with how close he's been there. And really, Ricks, the transfer from Alabama, doing a really good job. Featured today on College Game Day with Nick Saban figuring out where he was.
Second and 10 at the 35 for Notre Dame. 10:30 to play in the fourth quarter. Leonard in the gun. Shifts Flanagan to the slot right, joining Greathouse and Mitchell over there. Here's the snap. Leonard, a handoff up the middle. Bounced out to the left side. One-on-one battle on the perimeter, and the Aggies win it for a loss of yardage. Jadarian Price looked to put a stiff arm on Des Ricks again, and Ricks, the freshman, makes a second consecutive stop for the Aggies, and it's 3rd and 13.
Ricks comes up big, but now you're going to have to stop. Texas A&M has a defender down. He's going to need to get helped up and go to the sidelines.
Yeah, that injured player goes back down in the seat of his pants. Maybe Marcus Ratcliffe, one of the defensive backs for Texas A&M, down just in front of the Aggie bench. And Notre Dame might be catching a bit of a break that he's hurt here, because before everybody noticed that he was going down, this place was jumping going into that 3rd and long, and now it's obviously quiet for the injured player.
Yeah, from a fan experience perspective, Texas A&M has done a really good job to keep the crowd engaged and bring them in those big moments. And this is a crowd that's 107,000 deep. They don't need any extra indication or method to get them going, as they're going to get going again here with a little bit of a pulse.
Mo Bamba resumes, and the crowd responds. Aggie defenders are jumping up and down as well. Notre Dame breaks the huddle, approaching a 3rd and 13 from their own 32. 10-11 to play in the fourth quarter of a 13-13 tie game. Notre Dame's number 13, Riley Leonard, stands in the shotgun. Three receivers right, one to the left. Devin Ford, the running back, 2 Leonards left. Now Mitchell Evans goes from right to left to the slot. Here's the snap to Leonard, but first a flag, and this could be a false start. The Aggie fans react as if it will be one. Leonard shaking his head. And it's going to be 3rd and 18 for Notre Dame, all the way back at the 27.
Notre Dame had done such a great job through the first half and into the third quarter, not having this crowd get to them. But right now, everyone waving their 12th man towel. The place is electrified. I can't even hear you right now, T. Reed.
Leonard going up to each one of his linemen and talking into their ear. They're having a hard time hearing as well. 3rd and 18 from the 27 for Notre Dame. Leonard in the gun. He brings Greathouse from right to left, fakes the handoff, swings it out in a screen to Greathouse right, across the 30 to the 35. He cuts back to the middle, but the Aggies stand him up and force a 4th down as Trey Jones III, the Central Michigan transfer, makes the tackle. And the Aggie defense is pumping up the crowd coming off the field before a likely Irish punt. And this is not good for Notre Dame. Momentum has turned.
It has turned, and it has turned quickly here, Tyler. It's a really well-designed play. I like the play out to the near side of the field to get it to Greathouse. Didn't just have enough blockers to go and get every ounce of yardage that you need there. That false start proves costly.
8:45 to go in the 4th quarter. Rendell on for the punt. Kicking it away to Bussey. This one angled to the right side. Bussey points to the ground, lets it bounce at the 20. It dies there, trickles toward the 15. The Irish surround it and scoop it up at the 15-yard line. Rendell, who has had a very good night, pins the Aggies again inside the 20, where it'll be 1st and 10 A&M.
A great punt from the Aussie. Trying to go for the pin move down into the left side corner. Just can't get it far enough, but it's within the 15. You're happy with it. Gives a moment. They're going to have to try and go climb their way out of it.
So let's keep it here with 8:36 to play in the 4th quarter. 13-13 the score. Notre Dame and Texas A&M locked up nearing the final moments here in week 1. And you and I have gone back and forth with it all week. Seemingly anybody that's invested in sports at Notre Dame talking about the significance of this game. You've thought all along that this is a major determinant of the Irish college football playoff hopes, and why not rehash that conversation as you've seen this one play out so far tonight? What do these final 8.5 minutes mean for Notre Dame? Big picture.
I think they mean everything. You look at their schedule. They only go on the road in their format 3 times. This is one of them tonight. They go to Purdue in 2 weeks. Then they go to USC. That's their last game. Those are their only true road games. They play Navy at MetLife. Then they play Georgia Tech, who's looking to be a top 25 team, at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I think with the weakness that Notre Dame's schedule is, if they don't win here today, they are fighting an uphill battle because the SEC is poised with Vanderbilt winning today, beating Virginia Tech, a team that many thought was in the top echelon of the ACC. That weakens the conference, especially on top of it, the Clemson Tigers getting absolutely trounced by Georgia. Notre Dame has an ACC slate. They have 6 games they play with ACC opponents. The ACC cannot help you here. You have 1 game, and that's against Florida State, who did not look good enough against the Ramble and Wreck of Georgia Tech. I think this game means everything right now. If they don't find a way to win this bowl game, they're going to find themselves outside of the 12.
So to whittle it down here to kind of one big point, your big worry about this game is that it's Notre Dame's only chance to play in a playoff environment and make a statement to the committee about how they can handle it in the regular season. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that entirely because SEC opponents and SEC teams have the ability to be in a playoff environment every weekend.
Right.
And for Notre Dame, they don't have that ability this year. They play some really good teams.
Yeah.
But they don't have this. This is what college football is. This is what the upper echelon of college football is right now. And if you can't get it done here, I think you're going to find yourself outside the 12, especially if you get into a scenario where then you have to hope the leader of the pack of your conference wins because you can't have any sneakers.
Yeah.
So if Georgia wins out and then loses in the conference championship, that's a spot that has to be given to Georgia. It's a question mark that you don't know. Everything is new in this new era. it sets up for Notre Dame needing to have themselves a moment and their defense to get it together here.
They're facing a Texas A&M 1st and 10 from the Aggie 15-yard line. 8:36 to play in the fourth quarter. 13-13. The Aggies have led for most of this game. Notre Dame pulled out in front briefly late in the third quarter on a Jadarian Price touchdown run. Otherwise, it's been tied most of the night. Here's the snap to Wigman from the gun. He hands it off to Le'Veon Moss, trying the right side, and Notre Dame contains that to perfection. A no-gainer on the perimeter, forcing 2nd and 10 as the Irish strung that play out beautifully with Cross and Botello getting in the mix.
Howard Cross just pushing the lineman where he wants to go because the running back is going there as well. Cross just overpowering on the left side, on the right side, to get through Reed Adams. And Cross does a great job there.
2nd and 10 at the 15. Wigman in the gun. Moss to his left. Now he transfers back behind him in the pistol. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. They're all bunched up. Here's the snap. Irish bring pressure. It's coming free from the left side. Pass complete and a massive hit by Christian Gray. Knocks down Walker at the 17. It's only a 2-yard pickup. What a moment right there for Gray, the sophomore, making his presence felt and forcing 3rd and 9. A short tackle if I've ever seen one.
That's why you lift weights there, Tyler. Christian Gray comes in and says, meet my right shoulder, and just absolutely leans into it to send him to the ground.
Backfield empty. 3rd and 9 from the 16. 2 receivers left, 3 to the right, including a tight end, Watson. The running back Moss is in the slot left. Irish showing a 3-man pressure. Here's the snap to Wigman. They bring 4. Wigman has time. Steps up, delivers to the left side, and it's caught near the sideline. Did he get enough for the first down? As of right now, it doesn't look like Moss did. He ran an out route and ducked out of bounds about a half-yard short based on the officials' initial spot. And here comes the Aggie punt team on 4th and a yard. Wow.
Whoa. I did not expect this from Mike Elko. He had gambled at the middle of the field, but this time doesn't want to give up the opportunity to not convert and give Notre Dame the ball deep into their own red zone.
Here comes the punt, a left-footed boot away from Tyler White. Greathouse backs up, has to retreat, but it takes a massive bounce inside the 20 and down to the 15-yard line, all the way to the 14 as a matter of fact. What a kick from White. A 61-yard punt pins the Irish deep for the new drive with 6:23 to go.
If you love punters, welcome to College Station. An Aussie and an American. Both punters showing up and showing out. And it has been a lot of fun on special teams.
6:23 to play in the fourth quarter. 13-13 the score. We'll take our final break here on WVFI Sports Radio. The Irish will set up 1st and 10 at their own 15-yard line, looking to push back ahead and score a major road victory in week 1. Keep it right here. This is WVFI. 6:23 to play in the fourth quarter. It's 13-13 here at Kyle Field. Notre Dame and Texas A&M opening up the 2024 college football season with a classic alongside Jacob Irons. I'm Tyler Reidy. Pleased to be with you from our makeshift broadcast booth in the south corner, right in front of the concourse. It's a great vantage point, though. We've been able to chat with some fans and take in the full scope of the environment as the Irish start their next drive.
Yeah, the fans have been awesome to us all weekend. The Kyle Field friends, as I'm going to start calling them, have been just that. They have been so friendly, kind, and always willing to talk.
1st and 10 Irish at their own 15. Riley Leonard in the gun. Jeremiah Love to his left. Here's the snap. Handoff, Love up the middle. No, Leonard pulls it, keeps it running left side. He gets hit hard, awkwardly up high near his shoulder. I was worried for a second the ball might come out, but he twists his way down near the 20. It's a gain of about 8. Setting up 2nd and 1 officially from the 24.
I don't necessarily know if that's a hit there. I think he tried to cut it too close to the blocking Greathouse, who's trying to take on his DB out on the far side and tried to be too close to him and clipped his own shoulder.
Now Leonard's in the pistol. Love behind him for 2nd and 1. Now Love moves to his left. Here's the snap. Handoff Jeremiah Love up the middle. Spins out to the right. Loses major yardage. The Aggies ram their way into the backfield and slam Love down inside his own 20, it looked like. Ratcliffe in the mix again. We'll see where forward progress situates him. It'll be 3rd and 5 from the 20, which is a huge step back after it was just 2nd and 1.
Yeah, Nick Scoutman also in on that to come through and make the initial contact.
Leonard in the gun. Devin Ford to his right. 3 receivers bunched up to the right side. Collins alone on the left. Greathouse in motion right to left. He moves into the slot. Snap to Leonard. Blitz coming. Has some time. Gets it out to Greathouse for a first down as he runs the out route to the left sideline and gets it to the 29 with a pickup of 9. Well timed for the Irish with 5 minutes to go.
That's the first play today from the offensive line that I felt Leonard had enough time and comfortability within the pocket to go out and make a striking throw. Big moment there for the offensive line to hold up.
Greathouse, a huge season opener with 2 touchdowns as a true freshman against Navy last year. Makes a big catch with under 5 minutes to play. 1st and 10 Notre Dame at the 29. Leonard in the gun, 3 receivers right. Jeremiah Love in the backfield. Here's the snap. Leonard given time. Floats it down the left sideline for Collins. He reaches up to make the catch and holds it in bounds. What a strong-handed grab from Bo Collins across midfield. And for now, it's a huge Notre Dame pickup.
And if you're Notre Dame, let's get to the ball quick to make sure that they can't review this. Get something set and just get a run so they don't have to go. And it's going to stop here because
his foot's down. As long as he maintains possession of the ball, that's a catch. Aggie fans are incensed because Collins pushed Lee, the defensive back, after the play. But that's a catch from what I saw.
I think it is.
Not on Sundays, but we're playing college football here in Kyle Field.
Hey, it's SNF Saturday night football, not SNF Sunday night football.
There you go.
But the reason why I never didn't think it was a catch here, but I thought
left foot's down.
It's a catch.
Yeah.
It's a catch. I'm just concerned that going to the booth, you lose the momentum that you had just built. Quick back-to-back catches. Notre Dame was starting to make something happen. And by going to the hood here, you slow up the momentum a little bit. But do not overshadow the fact of how good of a catch Collins has there, the senior from L.A.
Let's make absolutely sure. There's the foot. No, that's absolutely a grab. I don't see how you can overturn it. Looks like they'll spot the ball if it stands at the Irish 49. It's a 20-yard pickup. Coverage was pretty good on the play from Will Lee III, but Leonard, in the face of pressure, delivered the ball to the back shoulder, and it is a catch to put the Irish a yard shy of midfield with 4:15 to go in the fourth quarter. A major chunk play for Bo Collins, a man who set career highs in both catches and yards a year ago in his final season with the Clemson Tigers.
And 11 touchdowns with the Tigers. And would love to see him get one here for Notre Dame, but a really good job to keep moving the sticks.
1st and 10 at the Notre Dame 49. 4:05 and ticking on the clock. Backfield empties for Leonard. Here's the snap. Design run left side. Looking to turn the corner. Leonard has some room. He gets around the corner and ducks down with the first down inside the Aggie 40-yard line. And the clock keeps ticking down inside the final 4 minutes of play.
It's a really well-designed run. Mike Denbrock has used Riley Leonard's ability to run, not under center like Mike Elko did a lot at Duke, but instead coming from in the backfield and just designing them to go the way and use the blocking backs that he has to create those moments.
1st and 10, Irish at the Aggie 40. 3.5 minutes on the clock. Leonard in the gun. Love to his right. 2 receivers right side, 1 to the left. Press coverage from the Aggies. Here's the snap to Leonard. Handoff Love up the middle. Bouncing to the right side. Breaks an ankle tackle. Has room inside the 30. And ushered to the ground inside the 25 with a pickup of 18. The Irish ground game coming to life in the big moments and moving Notre Dame very close to the red zone.
We touched upon at the start of the second half, what did Notre Dame need to do to make themselves an offense that could take that step, and was finding the run to be multidimensional. They have found it there with big chunk plays. It's a really well moved run by Love. Spin out of a couple tackles, and now Notre Dame continues to run the clock here.
1st and 10 at the 22 of Texas A&M. Leonard in the gun, Love to his right. 2 tight ends on the flanks of the O-line. Here's the snap. Hand off to Love, running through a wall. And no gain on the play as the Aggies sized him up well and brought him down right at the 22. Shamar Turner made the stop.
Yeah, Turner in this defensive line for A&M has been so good all night long.
He just fell back down and now returns to his feet. Looks like he's okay. That was strange.
It's been this defensive line that is taking a brunt of the injuries, and Notre Dame's going to take it here to the 2-minute timeout.
It'll be a 2nd and 9 for the Irish at the Aggie 21. Already 2 minutes to play in this final quarter. 13-13, Notre Dame right now in the driver's seat. The Irish have 2 timeouts remaining. The Aggies have all 3. So if you're looking at the Aggies potentially coming back on offense, if Notre Dame does put points on the board here, you want to make sure they do it with probably at least 45 seconds to go so you can use those 3 timeouts and get back down the field. Notre Dame just wants to punch this ball in the end zone. Marcus Freeman, I guarantee you, isn't thinking too far in advance about the clock. The priority right now is the end zone.
Do not worry about the clock. Whatever happens, happens from a clock perspective. You need to score points, and you need to score 7 here.
And a lot of that has to do with the ability of your defense. You can score at any time because
Yes.
you have all the faith in the world of a defense that ranked top 10 in the nation last year and has strutted its stuff tonight.
It has strutted its stuff. And I wouldn't have said that if it was another 3 and out, but they have gotten time to rest on the sidelines. Get a fan on them. Take off their helmet. Get a Gatorade for a quick sec. That has been huge. That was somewhat Notre Dame wasn't successful with last year in those losses, was when their offense couldn't get anything going and their defense had to go right back out there. They understood how good of a defense they had last year, but when they were going 3 and out on offense and then being forced to go right back out there just through 3 plays later, it's tough to defend like that. And for Notre Dame tonight, it's their offense being able to move down the field, taking on Texas A&M well, giving their defense that rest.
It'll be a 2nd and 9 for Notre Dame at the Texas A&M 21. 2 minutes on the clock. You can decide here, Jake, if you want to focus it more on a play type or a player type. But where does the ball need to go here for Notre Dame to get this thing the final 21 yards and into that maroon-painted end zone?
I don't like the long ball from Riley Leonard here tonight. I don't think that's going to be the smart move. I would go with a couple short passes, get in the goal line situation, and then put yourself in a spot to run the ball in. I think you just do little chunk plays, little by little, and find themselves in a spot that you don't need to go try and get it all at once. I don't think 21 yards out of the offense I've seen from Notre Dame has the ability to try and go do it all at once. If they could, great. But I think work on small, quick check down passes.
50 seconds remain in the 2-minute timeout. A 13-13 ball game. No team has led by more than 7 points tonight. The largest lead belonged to the Irish late in the third quarter after Jadarian Price scampered for a game-long 47-yard touchdown run. The Aggies answered right back midway through the fourth with a 1-yard touchdown push from the running back Le'Veon Moss. All teams break the huddle. We're ready for crunch time in College Station. 2nd and 9 Notre Dame coming up from the 21.
This atmosphere, this game, it has lived up to everything you want. College football, week 1. The boys in the golden helmet are back, and they got an opportunity to try and go get a statement.
All right, here we go. Leonard looking to the sideline for signal as the play clock begins to wind. And the Irish come out in a shotgun formation. 2 tight ends flanking the O-line. Jeremiah Love, the running back, to Leonard's left. Press coverage from the Aggies. Love shifts to the right. Here's the snap. Leonard hands it off. Love going up the middle. He breaks free inside the 10. Touchdown Irish. Jeremiah Love, a 21-yard score. And inside the final 2 minutes, Notre Dame has taken the lead again.
Notre Dame's rushing attack that had been stifled in the first half has had a second half to remember. It's a big opening to the left side that Jeremiah Love is able to sneak his way through and say, "Excuse me," in. And it's a really good shifting line coming over and providing the block is Flanagan to create the hole, and Love does the rest, being able to step out of a tackle and get a big touchdown.
It's Jeter on for his second extra point try of the night. He's 1 for 1. This to make it a 20-13 score. It is on the way and through the sticks. Notre Dame does it on the ground again. Their second rushing touchdown of the night belongs to Jeremiah Love. It's the second rushing score of his career, 3rd touchdown overall. A guy who was over 5 yards per carry a year ago as a freshman, so much potential. Lower on the depth chart in this Notre Dame running back room. Now he's got a larger role. And boy, did he just cash it in for the Fighting Irish.
He cashed it in a big moment. However,
it's not done.
It is not done by any means. 154. Texas A&M has all 3 of their timeouts. I know we said you didn't want to talk clock, you just wanted to score. But it may have been a little too quick. However, you get the points, you work with it. You have a defense that has been playing well and a defense that has been playing very solid. Force Wigman here to make something happen.
Well, I raise you this.
Okay.
A&M is averaging 3.7 yards per play tonight. That's a full 2 yards less than Notre Dame per pop tonight. The Aggies have not been able to move the ball down the field quickly tonight, so 154, I'd imagine, is going to feel like a pretty long time, longer than you would think for this offense.
I agree entirely. But you missed 1 point. It's Kyle Field, and it's week 1.
Jeter's kick is in the air, taken at the goal line by Bussey. Now he, at the last moment, lets it fall in the end zone for a touchback. And the Aggies will need 75 yards in the next 114 seconds with all 3 timeouts to work with. 20-13 Notre Dame, 1:54 remaining, and the Aggies will begin 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
In fall camp, you practice for moments like this. 2-minute drill. Game on the line. Stadium is rocking. What did they do in fall camp to prepare them for this moment and to meet the moment?
Wigman, the cornerback, stands in the gun. Le'Veon Moss, the lone Aggie touchdown scorer, to his right. 2 receivers right side, 1 to the left. Here's the snap. Wigman to throw. Has time. Now the pocket breaks down, and he throws it high and out of bounds, incomplete. Jordan Botello provided the last-minute pressure, forcing the errant fire. 2nd and 10.
And for Wigman today, now 12 for 27 there, only passing 100 yards. He hasn't had a big day, and for them to try and move the ball, they're going to need him to be a little more accurate and get a couple more big plays.
On 2nd and 10, he's in the gun. Irish showing pressure. Bunch set of receivers to the right. Here comes the blitz. It's picked up, and the pass goes wide again, incomplete to the right side. Wigman and his intended target, Noah Thomas, never on the same page as Thomas broke in. The throw went out, and it's 3rd down.
But it's the pressure the defensive line Notre Dame brought forced Wigman there, I think, to get to that read a little quicker than he would have wanted before they could take that turn. It's really good pressure by the front four. And once again, Notre Dame at 3-10. Do not find a yellow laundry on the field, please.
3rd and 10. Wigman in the gun. Moss to his right. It's a handoff to Moss up the middle. He's got some space across the 30, short of the line to gain as he picks up 8 yards. It'll be 4th and 2 Aggies. And there's an injured Texas A&M lineman again prior to this 4th and 2. Moss picked up 8 yards on the run. Mike Elko really mixing up the play calls with his offensive coordinator, Colin Klein, the 2012 Heisman finalist with Manti Te'o. As Texas A&M tends to their injured player. We'll get you an update on who it is when we can. But either way, you're going to have 4th and 2 at the 33. You've got 2 timeouts now left as the Aggies just had to burn one with the injury. 1:37 on the clock. Jake, are you going for it here?
Ooh. I think you do.
Okay.
I think you go for it here. Put chips in.
I would agree because this Notre Dame ground game just woke up in a big way on the other side.
It did, and they can find themselves, and the offensive line has put themselves together as well. I think you go for it, get the first down if you can, and make that conversation a conversation of later. Because you do have 2 timeouts as well if you're Elko, so you can't knee it out necessarily if you're Notre Dame.
The Aggie offense returns to the field. 4th and 2 at their own 33. Wigman in the gun. Moss to his right. 1 receiver left, 2 on the right side. Notre Dame loading the box on defense. Here comes the 4th down snap. Play clock down to 10. Throw out to the right side is broken up, incomplete. Christian Gray, the sophomore, jumped the route and knocks it down. Irish takeover with 1:34 to play.
Fans now have decided to hit the aisles. These are games that Notre Dame doesn't normally win. We were talking with Tony Simeone, the new voice of Notre Dame football. You couldn't remember a game that had this much implication since the 2018 Michigan-Notre Dame game. And now for Notre Dame, they stand 1 minute and 34 seconds away from hopping on their one-way plane from College Station to SPN, and with it, a conversation to be the 5th spot in the college football playoffs.
More than 107,000 make their way out of Kyle Field as the Irish have 1st and 10. Game not over yet. Ball at the Aggie 33. 2 timeouts for A&M with 1:34 on the clock. Here's the snap. Handoff up the middle, and the play's blown up right on the handoff. That was very dangerous for Notre Dame. The Irish lose about 4 yards, but most importantly, keep the football. Aggies burn a timeout with 1:30 to go.
It was Scooby Williams, the Florida transfer, busting it off the line. No one's covering him.
That was Flanagan's guy. He went inside to block nobody. Notre Dame's left side of the line keeps having trouble.
Yeah, and you look today on that left side, Anthony Knapp, but really, in my opinion, Sam Pendleton heading into a big NIU game next week. I have more questions about the left guard position than I do the left tackle position, which shocks me.
Who would have thought? And Notre Dame, if they so choose, has an option with experience to fill in for Pendleton. Rocco Spindler is one of several Notre Dame offensive linemen with more experience than tonight's starters who just got jumped by the belief of Marcus Freeman in these young starters. I mean, Spindler's a graduate student who has 10 career starts, more than Pendleton by plenty. Here's the 2nd and 14 snap. Another handoff up the middle. Now bounced to the left side by Jeremiah Love. He just needs to go down here. He's trying to break out of extra tackles, and finally he's to the ground at the 33, bringing up 3rd and 10. That chewed up some extra clock. Now 1:21 remain. Aggies take a timeout. The scoreboard here at Kyle Field still reads that they have 2. This should be their final timeout. I don't know what would have stopped the clock. I don't think that the timeout portion of the graphic we're seeing is updating. So that's the final timeout for A&M. 1:21 on the clock. The Irish will have 3rd and 10. The 33-yard line. They can win the game with a first down. but just protect the football more than anything else.
Protect the football, and that's what you need to have happen here. Don't let anything crazy happen. Fans have left Kyle Field for a reason. Make that a smart decision for the individuals to leave. Don't give them anything to hope for. And for Notre Dame, this is a win that's going to stick around for a while if they can hang on here.
3rd and 14, the snap out of the shotgun. Love runs up the middle. He won't be anywhere near the first down as he uses his second effort to break inside the 30 and start the clock a-winding inside the final minute and 10. Notre Dame's within field goal range here, but as of right now, the offense remains on the field. Marcus Freeman may run the play clock all the way down and then take a timeout to go over the 4th down.
Yeah, he's standing right by the back judge.
It's 4th and 5 at the 28.
And the offense is still on the field.
Yeah,
He's going to run this.
They're going to take either a timeout or a delay of game with about 32 seconds left. Play clock at 5. It's at 2. Timeout. Marcus Freeman makes the signal. And with 33 seconds on the clock, that's the second timeout of the half for Notre Dame. The Aggies are out of timeouts. What do you do if you're Notre Dame? It looks like they're going to kick here, up by 7 on 4th and 5.
Put it in a 2-possession game. I think it's a smart move.
Yeah, I'm seeing Mitch Jeter hopping out onto the field and warming up the right leg.
I don't think it's any reason to test just to go for it to try and run the clock. There's way too much bad that can happen that outweighs the good. I think you get the points, you scamper off into the locker room with a smile on your face, realizing what you have done. But for Notre Dame, there is a feeling about this football team that oftentimes you've been disillusioned in the offseason. But for right now, through game 1, they feel like the real deal.
They're holding up their end of the bargain. 46-yard field goal try for Jeter. It clears the line and flies through the uprights. Notre Dame takes a 2-possession lead on Jeter's 3rd field goal of the night. What a debut he's put together. 2 made field goals of 40 yards or more, and it's 23-13 with 30 seconds to go.
You go out and get Mitch Jeter in the portal. Find this Gamecock from South Carolina. What's he going to bring to your team? But man, oh man, he brings a whole bunch. Special teams came up in big ways. We knew Notre Dame's special teams was going to ultimately take that step forward. Marty Biaggi in his 2nd year, you knew would have the team rolling. But an overlooked aspect of this game has been that special teams factor. You talk about Mitch Jeter, 240-plus field goals. But then you also have to give it to James Rendell, the punter, the Aussie from Pokek, Australia, who did great work pinning Texas A&M deep into their end zone to limit their playbook. And now a Let's Go Irish chant begins to echo in the heart of Texas.
30 seconds to go. Jeter back out to boot the ball away as the stands continue to empty out here at Kyle Field. Jeter puts the pigskin in the air. It's a short kick. Bussey takes it from the 4. This will kill some more time as he's out across the 15, angling right to the 20, sidestepping one tackler. He's brought down at the 28. 24 seconds and no timeouts remaining for Texas A&M's offense in its last stand. Down by 10.
If you're a fan of the sports books, this play matters a little bit more if you could break something off here. You could put yourself in conversation for
the over-under was what, 46.5?
46.
We're at 36 right now, so
correct.
I think the underbetters are safe.
I think no,
you never know.
The underbetters are fine. It was the individuals that decided to take Notre Dame early on at the -3.
Okay, good point.
So
1st and 10 at the 28, shotgun snap. Wigman to throw, pressured from behind. Botello misses on a sack attempt. Wigman scrambles left, throws it way out of bounds to absolutely nobody on the sideline. Could be intentional grounding. There's a flag out in the backfield as the clock winds down to 16 seconds.
I haven't seen 107,000 people vacate as quick as I've seen it here tonight.
Oh, yeah.
It has been a shellacking of the concrete with footsteps to make a move, and you feel something. For Notre Dame, they had been so often knocking on the door. You knew you had your guy in Marcus Freeman. And he had just been missing that marquee road win.
Run to the right side. E.J. Smith brought down just out of bounds. 10 seconds left. It'll be second and about 9 now for A&M.
You lose a heartbreaker last year to the Clemson Tigers for a team that you didn't think was all that special. But then this year, in a big test, answers the call to beat Texas A&M. And now, like we've touched upon all night, T-Reed, speculations are going to get even more speculation-y.
Second and 9, shotgun snap. Wigman to throw, in trouble. He spikes it into the ground under pressure. 4 seconds wind off the clock. 6 ticks remain, and it's 3rd and 9. Well, these Irish fans that have made the trip down to College Station or just come in locally, you know, they're all over the country. Yeah. They've stuck it out, and it's going to be a party in here for the next half hour or so for the folks wearing blue, gold, and green. 3rd and 9, shotgun snap to Wigman. Handoff up the middle to Moss. He's brought down by Jalen Sneed, and Notre Dame digs deep into the heart of Texas and comes into College Station for a season opening 23-13 win. And the playoff picture just got a whole lot more promising. What a night.
What a night. Notre Dame needed to put something together, and they put it together. And in the heart of Texas, Jeremiah Love comes out as a big shining star for this team.
He was big and bright tonight.
He was big and bright. But for Notre Dame, they had clear eyes and full hearts and put themselves, and they couldn't lose.
Couldn't lose tonight. 10-point victory for Notre Dame. A top 20 victory, one of the toughest environments for a visiting team in America. Kyle Field in Bryan College Station, Texas.
College game day today. Came out and picked Texas A&M.
4 out of the 5.
4 out of the 5. Lee Corso came out with the Leprechaun, and it felt like, you know what, maybe this is a tough environment.
Yeah.
Me and you on Shamrock Sports did not pick Notre Dame to win. We had handedly thought it was going to be a close game, which it was. But we thought at the end of the day it was going to be the home environment that was going to separate it and allow Connor Wigman to really show and shine. But it was Notre Dame's Riley Leonard and the front four putting together a night that you're going to have to talk about for the remainder of the season. And I know we touched upon it throughout the broadcast. Having this spot and having this win on your resume opens up a series of possibilities later on down the road.
I don't know about you, but the word that comes to mind for me with this win is solidifying.
Yeah.
This win solidifies Notre Dame's case as a strong contender for the 12-team college football playoff. Now you're 1-0. You've got your toughest game out of the way, barring a big drop-off from A&M. You're in the driver's seat the rest of the way home. Your toughest remaining games are at home with Louisville and Florida State. It solidifies the belief that Marcus Freeman could be the guy as this Notre Dame head coach.
And there was so many question marks coming into this game.
Yeah, 9-4 in his debut, 10-3 last year. Notre Dame just couldn't quite get over that hump to be the playoff contender all the way year-round. And he hadn't picked up that really big win on the road. Duke was an emotional win last year, but that stadium's half the size of this one.
It's half the size, and you felt as you're watching it, Notre Dame shouldn't be close to Duke Blue Devils. It shouldn't even been that close. And while it was a good road win and it kept yourself in the New Year's Six hope, this game felt different. It created a different atmosphere. And I know you don't want to talk about it with so much still looming in the distance because there's a lot more to screw up.
Oh, yeah.
There's so much more that can go wrong. But you know what? A pessimist can be turned an optimist at some point.
Mm-hmm.
And for tonight, this pessimist has found himself a very shining light, and that's Marcus Freeman in this Notre Dame team.
And a huge cluster of Notre Dame fans are now crowded around the visitors' tunnel, and they are living it up right now.
Riley Leonard taking it all in as he goes into the tunnel. A victorious starting quarterback for the first time in his career, following in his family's lineage, being a Notre Dame quarterback. And he walks out a winner in College Station.
18 for 30 tonight for Leonard. 158 passing yards, 63 yards picked up on the ground. Well, we've got pretty early flight out of Houston tomorrow, heading back to O'Hare. Another early morning for us, not game day related. What do you say we get back and catch some shut? It's going to be hard to sleep after this one, but we got to do what we got to do around here.
Hey, we got classes on Monday.
Oh,
There's no Labor Day off day in Notre Dame. We got to go hit the classroom. So let's go get a little bit of shut-eye and sleep with happy dreams of a win.
For Jake Irons, Dylan Wallace, our wonderful advisor, on the road with us here in College Station. I'm Tyler Reidy. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Notre Dame 23, Texas A&M 13. The Irish with a top 20 victory on the road to open up the 2024 season. They're 1-0, headed back home for a tilt against Northern Illinois in South Bend next Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll have the call for you once again on WVFI Sports Radio. Hope you can join us next Saturday for the Irish and the Huskies. That's a wrap from College Station. Have a good night, and let's go Irish.